Okay, so I'm drinking this. Was this your Baileys that was in the fridge?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very delicious. I'm a fan of Baileys.
Chris, just assume that all alcohol that is not Coors Light in this house, I have bought.
Yeah, well, I knew the mics you bought, so that's why I said tomorrow I was going to buy another one because we drank a lot of that.
Most of the alcohol that is bought in this house that is not Coors Light.
I hate beer.
Susan has a better taste in liquor than you do, Chris.
Well, she's drinking Seagrams.
Okay, and it's still, that's
Wait,
good.
We had
That's
that
still
up at Carlton's, and you purchased it. So
well, yeah, that's all I had. That's all there was. It's either that or something. Like, was it? You told me that.
At least I'm not buying moose piss.
Huh? Hey, you gotta try it.
You
never know.
That's true.
Like it unless you try it.
Or like the middle school girl frickin' vodka.
Yeah,
I look at moose piss like, it's like sucking a dick. I mean, you don't know unless you try it. You're not gonna know if you like it.
This one,
No one
dark
wants to know Jared Padalecki's frickin' like piss.
It took 1 minute of the podcast to go to dicks. Chris bringing up sucking dicks.
Tell him drinking.
Less than a minute.
Yeah,
No, it was about a minute.
Yeah,
I was watching
he's
that
watching the
clock.
timer.
Yeah, a minute.
Wait, well, Junior said he's already had a couple drinks on him, so.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Molly and had a cup, some of her margarita and a nice strong Jack
Next time
and
she
Coke.
comes down, she ain't gonna recognize this place.
No, she's not. I already told her. I was like, you redid
Well, now
it.
well, you're the first one, because even Al, you're the first one who hasn't been here yet. So what do you think about the?
Wow, it looks really nice.
Yeah, Al sat down. Of course, Al had to brave. He finally braved the chair, and he goes, Chris, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm not setting you up. I only set up Junior. So I was like, just
what the fuck type of shit is that?
I never set Al up. So Al sat down.
That's rude.
He's a horrible friend.
It's honest, though.
He is a horrible friend. Like, we already established this. He is a horrible friend. Like, you don't set your friends up.
No.
You're supposed to set them up with, greatness,
We
not...
were gonna bring in Carlton's house too, but Carlton said it was timing and ran out of room. And I'm like, I don't know. Carlton gets weird with this whole when he hears just like, well, we don't have enough beds. And I'm like, you realize I can sleep in the car, right? And he goes, you can give Susan my bed. He goes, no, you'll sleep in the bed. I'm like, again, I slept on literally metal beds, like, so I bought a beanbag chair. They got a beanbag chair downstairs, and that beanbag chair is softer than any bed I've ever slept in. So I'm like, I'm
fell asleep just sitting
I'm just
there.
gonna crash there. He's like, no, you can't sleep in a beanbag bed. Why not? He's like, yeah, sleep in a bed. I'm like, I would sleep on a fucking bed of nails. So, but he said there wasn't enough beds to bring you up, and I'm like, why? I was sleep on the goddamn floor.
I could have even slept in the car. Like, it doesn't make a difference.
So.
Well, there was a big bed, but you would have shared it with Al.
Well,
Mayo chuck
I did make the
everywhere.
joke to Al, though. I said, Al, here's driving arrangements. We're going to have me and Elliot in one car, and then you and Junior in the car behind us. And I'm like, and what we'll do is make sure that the two black guys go into New Hampshire in the car behind us. And I'm like, if I see cop cars and stuff and lights, I'll say, listen, the big fat one in the back, don't worry about it, he's good. The other one, for no Best Buy shirt, he may or may not have drugs on him, so just give him a full body cavity search.
This is exactly why he is a horrible friend, because he would set me up with cops like that. He would.
And Al had that plan in his head. He's like, if we get pulled over, no one pointing at.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, if you got the crack and cocaine in that bag, you might want to check his bag.
It may smell like Rogaine, but that's to hide the smell of drugs from you.
I was hoping like a really big fat cop officer. Listen, he hates inconvenient fat people.
He might be the next fat guy strangler. Watch out.
Oh, if that's the case, he would have definitely had a gun on me.
It was funny, as we're pulling out of Crossgate Mall, we see like fuck with 1, 2, 3 as we're hitting the loop there, like 9 cop cars pulling across Crossgate Mall, and we're like, bye guys, like we'll find about it later. What did you actually find out what that was?
When?
Remember when we were leaving Crossgates, like fucking 9, 10, 11 cop cars pulled into fucking Macy's shit?
Oh, it was a fight.
Yeah.
Must have been a big ass.
There's a lot of cop cars though.
Yeah, it was
Shocking.
a fight.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, I kind of already realize it's just like, what's going to happen at the mall is that people are literally bored, have nowhere to go. Now they have a place where they can go and actually do something again. Yeah. They're not gonna be able to handle it. It's sad to say that grown ass people can't handle when something reopens. Nope. Because they literally don't have anything else to do with their lives but to be porch guardians. And I stole that term from Chris, which is actually pretty fucking funny.
Well, if I say porch monkeys, I'm racist, so.
Well, I mean...
So I'll switch it to porch guardians.
I'm such an essential part of the podcast that I got left behind.
It wasn't my fault.
You can say it wasn't your fault.
It was. I wanted you to come. I legit. Carlton, we're out of room. I was like, okay. I got you.
Could have left Al behind.
We need another driver. But Al was freaking first. I mean, he gave Carlton such a big manly hug. I thought Al might rape him and shit. Like he almost did. Like,
It looked that way. It looked.
Fucking hell.
He had a smile on his face and looked at my brother like, Carlton, gotta tell you something. Like, oh God, what's gonna happen now? He came out of nowhere.
yeah.
I just stood there blinking. I wanted to say no homo
I
fast.
told Carlton next time, like, I will bring a sleeping bag, or I'm gonna, like, I will sleep in the car. It's not like a big deal.
I mean, it's
but-
not that big of a deal.
I know, but no, I did say that. I was like, it'd be cool if we brought Susan. Christian couldn't come because Satan wouldn't let him come as usual. But
Can we just talk about Satan for like 5 seconds? Because I
Sure.
really want to like punch her and her mom in the face.
I was talking about Christina being Satan, but
Yeah.
and her mom.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, little backstory here. Not this past Thursday, the Thursday before that, I think it was.
Okay.
Your mom, me, Jen, Jamie, Kaya, him, Wyatt, and
Oh yeah.
Anthony all went to the beach. Now, I'm pale, Christian's paler than I am. Christian's pale though because he's anemic.
Well, if his mother, not me.
So, before we went on the beach, I doused
Yeah.
this kid in freaking, like, sunblock. Your mom doused him in sunblock.
Yep.
Now, I was doused in sunblock. Even Kaya doused herself in sunblock.
Yeah.
Because, the sun's strong. It can get pretty bad. You all know, I was burnt. Like, burnt!
Yeah, I saw you peeling. It brought back terrible memories.
But
What the fuck?
Either way, while laying on the beach, the kids, they spent most of the freaking time in the water.
Yeah.
Like kids do. Like, they were having fun. It was just the 3 boys together. They were happy.
Yeah, my cousin's kid, Ashley.
Yeah, we had Anthony, Christian, and Wyatt.
Yeah.
And we had Mark's mom, Lisa.
Yeah.
So,
No, just
I don't
because
even wanna know.
his mom says she's like freaking Lisa, doesn't even talk about her kid. Like, did you have a kid named Mark? Like, who? Jesus, man.
sometimes, yeah.
I
But
need to beat her.
she's fun as hell to be around.
On a side note, I can tell you
The
this.
cat
I can tell you this
man.
before I forget it, because like I couldn't tell the junior in person.
Is this what your mom said?
No, it's because like this morning I get a text from Mark, and it's the way he texted. He's like, I haven't took a shower in 4 days. He's like, I can make a corpse puke.
Vile.
The cat man strikes again.
I was like, if Junior was read that, he would have fucking pissed himself.
No. Tell her about the gym one. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my gosh.
The one about him canceling his gym membership
Yeah, no,
because his body's broken.
No,
I think I've heard this one before.
Oh, like this happened within like the past 3
he
days.
texted me yesterday because
Wait, Mark had a gym membership this entire time? Junior, don't die. Don't die.
because
This is why everybody needs a friend like Junior.
Wait, Mark?
yeah, we went to the gym a couple times together.
He could just. Gyms are closed indefinitely
No.
to begin with,
No,
though, too.
yesterday, Best Fitness opened back up. I actually went to yesterday
Why
after
would
work.
he even have a gym membership?
He was trying to get.
If he is living off of peanut butter and jelly out of a bowl.
Yeah.
He said his body is broken!
He sent me a text. He's like, I'm canceling my gym membership because he goes, my damn body is broken. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god! Oh, I've never in my life, in my entire life,
Oh, damn.
I
Wow.
have never,
I think my brain just broke.
I have never
You're
heard,
welcome.
never heard
Fuck
in my
off,
life of somebody not being able to go to the gym,
Because their body
My
broke.
body's broken.
like he's glass.
No, he's Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Well, funny part, I was driving 114 a couple days ago, and so I'm driving. I look at distance. I'm like, that looks like a familiar face, and it was him.
Oh,
So he come out. I was like, oh shit, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I have to stop by work. once a week. And I was okay. And then we're talking like through the barrier. Every few minutes, he's like, I gotta go sit down. So he come back. I'm like, you okay? He's like, I can't stand up too long because of his back. So I was like, oh, Jesus. Damn, dude, it's that bad? It's like, I can't stand for too long.
How can he not stand for too long? How does your back stand? Like, how are you so out of shape? Like, it's like...
That terrifies me. You know, so everyone knows, like, I have, like, enormous, like, tits.
Mm-hmm.
My lower back will kill me on a regular fucking basis. But
he doesn't have an excuse.
Precisely. When Chris first started driving CBTA, he would drive the 1 bus, which is the one that goes straight up and down Central Avenue. And he would drive the 12 bus, which is the one that would go straight up and down Washington Avenue. Which there are multiple freaking, like, you know, horror stories of that bus, as Elliot well knows as well.
Yep.
So, how often would I actually sit down? And that's with you making loops all the way through.
I mean, eventually would, but we're just I should talk about, so.
But that's the thing, like, I have a legitimate reason why I would have lower back pain.
Hey, Carlton was an asshole. Carlton tells me Junior Xbox, he's like, he's a Mark, he'll make a Facebook page, one for himself, one for his stomach. I was like, you're a dick. He's like,
that's honesty.
He's like, he run himself, like, how you been the past couple of days? Like, well, I've been pretty good. Like,
oh my god, that would be so great.
I just wish I could have bread with my peanut butter and
put on
jelly.
Mark's profile page, I'm hungry, feed me. Mark replies to his stomach, all I have is peanut butter and jelly and some bowls. Like, damn.
I
or
do
like
feel,
ramen noodles.
I do feel bad for him.
Without the
I don't feel bad for him for shit.
Because I just turned 39.
Yo, so his mom was making the statement to us at the freaking beach. She made the statement to Nancy. She's like, all he has to do is come upstairs and say to me, Mom, like, I have no food. And she's like, and he can, like, go raid my fridge, raid my cupboards. I don't care. But she's like, but for some reason he's intimidated by his brother, who will, like, do anything in the world for him, and me, and he just won't come upstairs and ask. So she's like, so he'll sit there and eat peanut butter and jelly out of a bowl.
Wait, hold on.
Rather than come upstairs and ask for food.
I have a question.
No, wait, before you have a question, I can answer this riddle. He's not afraid of anybody.
He's afraid of the stairs.
Exactly. He sees the first one and he gets tired just thinking of climbing
but he still has
them.
a cell phone. If he's too lazy to climb the stairs, he could just text Josh and be like, Josh, can you bring me down a plate of food?
That
Josh will bring
moving.
him down a plate of food. He won't care.
He's like Jabba the Hutt. That's like moving. You see that happen? Oh. Like, no.
Oh my god, I gotta ask this question. Wait a minute. So let me get this straight. So his mother and his brother lives upstairs from him.
Yep.
And he's still
And he won't even ask for some bread.
He texted his mom one day and said, Mom, can you ask Josh to pick me up from work? She looks over at Josh and was like, can you pick Mark up from work? And he's like, I was planning on it.
Yeah.
And she says to him, she's like, he said he was already going to. And he's like, okay, well, thanks for asking. And she's like, why don't you just ask him yourself? And he's like, oh, well, I didn't want to bother him. And she's like, so you're bothering me to bother him to do something for you. Where does that make sense?
Inconvenient morons.
Yo. Anyway, I can't get past.
I mean, even if he's not going to walk up the stairs, like, they literally are upstairs. He could just, like, yell up the stairs and be like, Ma, can you toss down some bread?
Yo. But why is his body broken?
Because he's a man cat. He sleeps 16 hours a day.
Yo.
Christ.
That ain't a reason our freaking cats still do stupid shit all the freaking time.
Yo.
Yeah, but he's a man cat. Cats' bodies can handle that. He's too human for his own weight to support this.
Actually, cats technically sleep up to 16 hours a day. They don't necessarily sleep 16 hours a day all the time.
So, anyway, so the ending story about my horrible kid's mother.
Yeah, so Christian, of course, is in the water all day with Anthony and Wyatt.
Yeah.
They're doing their shit, they're whatever, so on and so forth. Playing, having fun, whatever. So, we get back here to pick Chris up because he needed to go to the grocery store. Chris says, Christian, hey, did you call your mom? Because she's been blowing me up. Saying, like, you didn't tell her where you were going. She hasn't seen you in a couple days. So Chris had the week off that week.
Yeah.
So Chris kept him for, like, a good 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So she didn't hear from him, didn't know that we were bringing him, which, you know, he's 13 now.
Yeah.
At this point, like, if he wants to spend more time with us, she should not be pissed off about that.
Yeah.
But she is, of course. So, at the same point, so he says to him, he's like, well, next time, just call your mom so she's not harassing me about it. And just let her know, like, hey, like, Grams is bringing me to the beach. Or whatever. Then she, I guess, calls him the next day, or Christian texts him. I don't know the full exchange there. Christian wound up sunburned. Now, mind you, I doused him in frickin' sunscreen.
Yeah.
Nancy doused him in frickin' sunscreen.
Oh, yes.
But he still gets sunburned.
He's still got sunburn because he's
Pale.
Anemic. He's pale.
Yeah.
So, first, she's bitching at Chris. She's like, well, they brought him, and I didn't know that they were bringing him. The beaches aren't safe. There's COVID in the water.
She texted me this shit.
So on and so, like, going insane. Then
COVID in the water.
her mom and her are both pissed off because they're like, they should have put sunscreen on you. There's no reason you should have a burn. And he's like, they did put sunscreen on me. And they're like, well, they're idiots because they should have kept putting it on you.
So they just didn't win regardless. You guys just didn't win regardless.
So then, of course, Christian, which I'm not sure if it's him stirring the pot or, like, whatever, but either way, because, you know, kids do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But either way, he comes over that Saturday,
Yeah.
I think it was, and he's sitting there, and he's in the backyard with me, Nancy, and Kaya. And Nancy, like, lifted up the back of his shirt to look at his back to see how it was, and she's like, you're really not that bad. You're not peeling. It's tanning, actually.
Yeah,
like
he's fine.
It's fine. And she's like, I burned a little bit on my shoulder. She's like, Susan burned a little bit. Kaya burns a little bit. Like, Jamie burnt a little bit because, you know, the sun's strong.
Everyone burnt.
Everyone except for Anthony. And Anthony had no sunscreen on whatsoever.
That. I've just been getting darker. I'm Batman.
Which is insane because we were about to douse him in it and he made the same. He's like, yeah, my mom doesn't put sunscreen on me. And we're like, what?
Yeah, he told me, he's like, Dad, he's like, she's flipping out at me about that. I just scoffed it off as always. He goes, yeah, she told my 13-year-old, like, well, she's texting me, like, why'd you bring him to the beach for us? I didn't, my mother did. Why'd you ask me for? Didn't know my mother needed permission to take her grandkid to the beach. Why didn't put sunscreen? They did. Well, who's watching him? 5 adults. He could have drowned. No, he couldn't have drowned. He was in 2 feet of water.
That too, because
I'm texting the shit back, just like, kill me, God, please kill me.
like literally, like your mom looked at him on that Saturday and she's like, does your mom really think that me, Susan, Jen, Jamie, Lisa, or Kaya are going to let you drown?
I mean, I've only had him for 13 years, been taking care of him, but
That's what your mom was
but
saying.
the penultimate where I started laughing, this is this is America for you, that she literally told my kid, like, well, there's COVID in the water. You can catch COVID from the water. So COVID now apparently is jumping into a lake and just infecting people left and right inside the water.
God.
Yep.
Yeah, because she's
Oh,
clearly
Christ.
scientifically certain. She's clearly certified to have any sort of comment on any sort of a virus. Like, bitch, if you were so certified on the science, you would know eating all that damn food would make you fucking fat, which
to
would make
America.
you fucking susceptible to health issues. So how about you be concerned about your own health issues, you fucking miniature cow, and stop worrying about a 13-year-old kid that's going around just having fun. I was like, you know what? If he's pale, he's gonna burn regardless. Me, I never needed sunscreen a day in my life. I have never been sunburned. I've been out in the sun at times for hours. Like, there's been times I've been out in the sun from, like, probably a few years ago when I was going out to a live at 5. I'd be out from, like, 3 in the afternoon to, like, 10 o'clock at night.
Well, that was something that Kaya and I started to explain that to him that Saturday because I said to him, I'm like, Christian, I burned when I was in the sun. And Kaya burns on her face.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you know Kaya's dark
Yeah.
to begin with, but she'll still burn on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, is her boyfriend here? He was here earlier.
I haven't seen
He
him.
keeps leaving. Fuck, I want to get him down
He's
here.
No.
intimidated. He doesn't want to come down here.
You know why?
He doesn't leave.
He's not intimidated by us. He's
No,
intimidated by
no,
the
no,
Amazon.
no, it's not that. Because literally, Kaya doesn't care if he comes down here.
Oh, she does.
Oh, yeah, she does.
She doesn't.
Listen,
Of the
especially if I'm sitting down here, because you
okay,
know
of
I'm
the
going to
four
go.
of us president, who has the better relationship with Kaya?
Me.
You.
You don't know her that well.
Are you kidding me? We had a barbecue and a fire.
I mean, she smiled when I talked to her,
for
so,
like an
I mean-
hour straight. So
I'd say we're almost on the same level, Susan, because she smiled when I talked to her, so it's not like she hates me.
We're both assholes. So.
yeah,
Just
I didn't get
because
hit
you
with a
guys can
brick,
hold a
so I'm
conversation
good.
with her doesn't mean shit. I've been around this child since God only knows how long.
Anyway, no, he told me he wants to come down here.
I know he wants to come down here. The
Yes.
problem is he's shy.
Well, of course he. Yeah.
He is intimidated by the fact that A, you're her big brother. That's one of your best friends. That's another one of your best friends.
She's gonna whoop his ass.
And I
And even
talk
though
like
he
this
knows me
sometimes.
better than he knows you, he still is like shy around me.
Elliot, just have Elliot do the fuck Herbert voice.
Yeah. Don't forget to stretch your cream hamstrings.
But also, here's the thing, though. See, neither of us is as violent as Kaya, though. So it's just like all three of us
Okay,
combined.
he
is-
doesn't know
No.
that though.
No, you did not hear the jokes I was saying that day. Kaya was nearly in tears. Like, it was a one-sided conversation. She didn't
was laughing.
talk. I was saying everything. She'd start talking more jokes.
Kyle loves when people get hurt and they're tortured, and
Yeah.
that's what Elliot
She does.
says.
She's hysterical.
I don't know. I was
He
making
finds
fun
it
of the
hysterical.
kids next door because they were leaning
It's like-
over. Oh, there's a fire.
Well, here's
Put out
the
fire." I'm
thing.
like, fall, kid.
Your
fall.
mom made the
Laughing.
statement to me. She's like,
Hey.
"Oh, Moody's gonna take all the bricks and he's gonna like redo."
How you doing, Mark, sex slave cat?
Leave her the fuck alone.
She came to him. So,
I'm not gonna punch her in the
What's wrong,
face like
baby?
Mark does. I just want to pet the cat.
Just beat her. That's all.
Yeah.
I was like, what's wrong with your
Meow,
cat?
meow. Punch me in the face like Mark does.
Oh, now you're gonna be a bitch, but you sleep
See?
upstairs
She's
with
going
me.
to Elliot. She's like, yeah, I know. He'll hit me.
That means please hit me.
So your mom was explaining to me because you know how your mom wants to make a bigger fire pit in the backyard.
I'll wait to Junior.
So Moody makes a statement.
Hit me, Junior. You know you want to.
I never touch you, cat, and you keep coming over to me.
That's
Like,
what she wants.
Yeah.
She knows you can take out your anger on her.
That's how
No.
Mark trained her. She didn't want to go to Mark either, but he made her. Thankfully, when we tore up the floor, we didn't find any tapes, Cat, so there's hope for
boy.
you yet.
So
Anyway.
anyhow, so Moody said he'll take all the bricks and he'll like put them like in like a little round circle, make a decent fire pit for your mom.
He's going to run on bricks.
yeah, he's
knows
very,
about bricks.
yeah, he knows about them bricks.
So I looked at your mom and I said, well, yeah, of course. He's going to make sure he grabs every single brick and make sure that they're all like cemented down properly so that Kaya has no ammunition to throw at him. Your mom started dying and she's like, yeah. And then, of course, your mom's like, you know.
We just gotta talk to him one of these days. Be like, hey, man, come on down, man. Come on down.
He told me he wants to, so I'm taking his word for it.
Yep.
That poor kid. Even though you can see the fear in his eyes. But
Oh, especially when we start talking. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's going to run away
Show
screaming.
him that mean.
Oh, there's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. I want you guys' opinion.
yeah,
on
because I
some
wanted
things.
to go over this topic. I want to get the comedy stuff. It's definitely serious, but I want to get some laughs out for it because it's like, you know.
I'll make it unserious.
I mentioned, well, me and Al and Elliot recorded for like an hour and Saturday, just a real quick hour, just to get some time killed. But when you were there, Junior, as well. Actually, I want to ask your opinion in a second. But like, there's a topic that happened last week that it pissed. Like, you know, we all get there. Everybody, everyone's got a breaking point, and something pissed me off so fucking bad that like, I don't want to bring it up at Carlton's house because we had such a great time. I don't want to kill the vibe. But now we're all here. Well, a couple fucking drinks and the mood's flattening. Like, I'm just gonna rant for about 10 minutes. But when you hear it, you'll understand why. But go ahead.
One thing that I want to talk about is that before we get started, and one thing that affects us blue collar workers is
We talked about last podcast. We mentioned with Walmart, you know, the next 10 years, it said at least 30 to 50 million jobs going to be cut.
Yep.
And that's as blue collars you can fucking get.
Yep. That's millions of retail jobs are actually getting cut,
Mhm.
and it's not because of COVID. People think that it's because of COVID that's actually cutting these jobs. It's not. It's because the online aspect of these businesses is actually cutting a lot more jobs than people can imagine.
Yeah.
Like now at my job, there's something called the fulfillment team, which they're actually cutting people off of the sales floor and actually hiring more people to pick orders than there's going to be for sales people on the floor. So now when customers come in, you're more grab and go as anything else. Now we're going to turn into a grab and go store.
Oh my.
Because of the fact that to pretty much, because Amazon's coming into Crossgates now. So now we're trying to step up, and this store that we're at right now at Crossgates is going to turn into a hub store. So basically now with trucks are going to become about triple the size. We're going to get trucks just about every day but Sunday. We're getting a lot more product in the store, and that's to fulfill these orders, because within 100 square mile radius of our store, they're cutting ship to homes for those stores. So stores are either closing or they're cutting ship to homes, which ship to homes pretty much means is that you don't have, basically if you order something you wanted to ship to your house, ship to home, simple, right? So they're cutting a lot of that, and 100 square miles is a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. That radius is crazy. Like, of how many stores are no longer, and all those stores that were doing those ships are coming to our store. So now they said that we're expected to do like another 300-400 orders on top of that. Way too much for the current crew that we have right now. So basically, they're trying to hire 10 people to deal with that. You know what I mean? Because online sales are going to jump through the roof because stores are closing. Stores are not renewing their lease, and they're keeping the busier and higher volume stores open and turning them into hub stores. So now the phone operators are taking calls throughout the country. So basically somebody in Texas can call our store in New York with a problem, so it's...
So is that like just like Best Buy, or is that also like retail?
There's actually a few retail chains that's actually doing that as well. There's Walmart's doing that as well. Walmart is another big company that's going to be focusing more online.
That's like a superstore.
No. What they've been doing for years, and since I was working there, I finally got to see it.
Yeah.
They've been having people call the specific store for even online problems, because they've been getting rid of warehouses and installing online or putting in online services at specific stores. The Super one, it has online services, so people are calling there. But here's the stupid thing. All the calls go through the fitting room, and you can only have 5 calls at a time. So literally multiple people every minute aren't getting help, because you have one person who has to do all this stuff, and only 5 calls can go through the phone at once. And you have people calling all throughout New York.
Yeah, what I also heard too is that they're actually making it so other people, like customer service and other places around Walmart, is actually going to start answering calls. That's what they said that they were going to implicate.
Yeah, that's a lot. They've
but
been
what
saying
I'm
that for
saying
years.
though is like there's a different dynamic in every store.
Yeah.
Like what Junior works in is strictly like electronics and things of that nature. Walmart they do groceries, they do like retail things, they do home decor, they do everything.
Yep.
Yeah, and they still get most of their orders wrong, which is funny.
Yeah, the online thing, the online is great, it's very convenient, but it is also killing a lot of jobs, and people don't really see that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot less people are traveling, and they're relying on online sales. So if they're relying on online sales, which, here's the thing about online sales. If you do a sale online, it doesn't necessarily mean that store is getting the money for it. Yeah. So, and this applies to any store, any chain that you do any sort of store on.
There are things that you'll find online that your branch won't have, but a branch in, say, Connecticut will have.
Yeah. And because they got the motto, we're all partners.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody does an online sale for our store, it still goes into a pool and spreads out throughout the company.
Sounds a little bit like how, like, you guys don't know this aspect of, like, my job. But we have a thing at Goodwill called Shop Goodwill. Mm-hmm. It's where we take the more expensive brands and things and, like, more antique-y things that come in. We send them off to basically, like, what is our auction house. and people go on there, they set a price, people try to like outbid each other on it, of course, like eBay a little bit.
Yeah.
And depending on like what we send, how it's sold, how much it's sold for, and so on, those things can go towards our budget in our store.
Yeah.
But we were like, well, how many items are we selling? What's actually selling? Like, what are we sending you that's actually of use towards you guys? Like, we could send you guys this thing, you'll take it, you'll look at it, and you'll say it's not a legitimate thing.
Yeah.
And we could have just kept it and sold it in our store.
It's true.
And all this different shit. So it can be a helpful thing towards us, but it can also be a hindrance in the same way.
Yeah. I mean, with the online sales, that kind of like works in any retail spot because, like I said, with Best Buy, it all goes into a pool. Yeah. Like we did, there was like, during the month, we did close to about like $100 million in just online sales in a month, you know? But does that go to our store? Absolutely not. That goes into a pool.
But like, what stores was it that like 2/3 of it came?
Well, from our store, we did the majority of the online sales from our store.
So like
in this district specifically, we're close to number one when it comes to online sales.
Okay.
If not, we are there, and by far, we're still beating people out, which means that, you know, it only makes sense that in inner city stores should become hub stores.
Yeah.
And the ones that are by airports as well, because when UPS picks our stuff up, they bring it to the airport, and they have to
like
leave at a certain time.
Like, that's more helpful.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that they'd be right next to the airport.
Yeah. So with those, because we meet all those conditions, we became the hub store.
Yeah.
Kingston's already closing. So
yeah, Kingston's, at this point, I don't think anything's reopening in Kingston.
Yeah.
In all honesty, because like now
it's a beautiful town.
There are certain things like, you know, I'm still not back to work quite yet.
Yeah.
There is like major processes that are going on. Our store will probably not be open until end of September, early October, maybe not even till middle of October. We're not sure. There's a lot that's going into it. You know where we were located, on corner of Central and Fuller Road.
Yeah.
Now, last year, we were told, we're getting a new freaking landlord. Building's being sold. Okay, cool. What does that mean for us? They didn't want us there. Okay, cool. Are we closing? No. We're finding you a new location. COVID hits. Middle of March. We're not sure if we have a new location yet. We're not sure how long we're going into lockdown. We're not sure what the hell's going to happen. Now, we're all on lockdown. We're all on unemployment, we're all doing whatever, not knowing if and when we're going back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to my district manager a couple weeks ago, he was like, well, there was this whole thing going on. They weren't sure if we were opening a location in Guilderland, which is where our new location is going to be, where all of our employees are supposed to be going to, if they are reapplying for their positions. Telling us how everything is switching up. Like, we used to have categories for every employee. Like, you know, you're either a sales associate level 1, 2, or 3, or you're a sales specialist, then, you know, bing, 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 key holder assistant, store manager, that type of deal. He's like, well, due to COVID, like, they completely eliminated the 3 tiers of the store associate and so on. So when applying, all of your workers, they're applying for a store associate or store specialist, they need to be assessed, which the assessment means everyone needs to be trained to work both in the back room and on the sales floor. They need to know how to accept donations at the donation door. They need to know how to run a register. Chris, of course, at one point, as you know, worked with me at Goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, what did you do as a Goodwill employee?
Well, I counted donations. I wrapped pallets. Accepted donations.
What section of the store did you work in the most?
Well, the back.
Yeah. How it's always been set up is you either work in the back or you work on the sales floor. are very few people that work in both areas.
Yeah.
It's hard to train.
Yeah. And normally, it's easier to have more people on the sales floor than to have in the back room. So maybe you need just like 1 or 2 people to work in the back, plus the 3 managers. Or 2, considering most of the time the assistant manager is an asshole that we have. As you all know. So now everyone needs to be assessed. And by everyone, I mean all of our employees. Like all of our cashiers, all of our donation attendants. Literally the only person, probably 2 people, only 2 people are probably going to pass their assessment.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like shooting for the stars that these 2 people are going to pass the assessment.
I mean, you got to pass an assessment to work at most retail jobs anyway.
Yeah, but working at Goodwill, you don't think like that's something that you need to do. And
I mean, I wouldn't know. I mean, it is a good store, though. It is a good store to get stuff.
It is. On a good day. When we don't have grenades being donated.
Grenades.
Yeah. And we had to stand in the middle of the freaking parking lot in the snow with no coats.
Grenades being donated.
Oh, dude, that was horrible. That was so freaking horrible.
Fucked.
Fragmentation grenade right there.
They were fucking like dummy grenades, too. Like, that was the funny part. Like, they had holes drilled in the bottom of them. Like, they weren't active. Like, the next day, like, Jim's, like, out back with me and Chris, and he's asking us, he's like, so what exactly happened with these fucking grenades? And shit, because, like, I'm texting him the whole freaking time, and I'm like, so, Kate found a grenade.
Well, she's a grenade in herself, so that would be hard to find.
So I'm like, Kate found a grenade. Mandy called the freaking colony police. They sent the bomb squad. And we're all just standing out in the middle of the parking lot, evacuating the store. Like, no one has, like, a coat on right now. Like, what do you want me to do here? He's like, send them all down to Stewart's and get them the fuck away from the store. So I look at all the employees and I'm like, yo, everyone, I will buy you lunch.
God,
like,
yeah.
I don't care. Like, just, we're going down to Stewart's to get away from here. And they're like, so Jim's not buying us lunch? He's making you buy us lunch? I'm like, Jim didn't say shit about buying you lunch. I'm offering to buy you lunch because you're technically not supposed to be on the grounds right now. And of course, you probably remember who the fuck, like, started bitching, moaning, and groaning the most.
Anyway. To its credit, the grenades, you couldn't tell. They look kind of real, so.
They look kind of real, but then, like, the next day, like, talking to Jim and shit, and, like, I was kind of pissed because I'm like, you know, we had to close the store twice.
I mean, I get it, because nowadays the problem is everything's a fucking lawsuit. Everything's a legal battle, and if we had nobody did that, it could have been some kind of big lawsuit, and the store would have got shut down, and, like, this is the way companies act nowadays.
Precisely, but you also know, like, the type of boss in which Jim was. Like, you know, I know.
Yep.
Jim didn't take, like, certain things too seriously when it came to certain shit.
Yeah.
Like,
So he didn't take a fragmentation grenade seriously.
not really.
Not until it blew off his testicles.
So,
And even then, it wasn't.
Vasectomy.
like,
Army
a couple
style.
of fun stories where Jim is concerned. I'm in the bathroom one day.
Oh my.
I have cashier on the sales floor, Kate on the door, Connor on the door. Went on the sales floor. I went in to take a piss. In the matter of minutes,
That watermelon looking at you.
I have Connor calling me on my cell phone asking me where I am. I have Kate knocking on the bathroom door. I have Wynn telling me, Susan, you need to, like, get out of here. It's important. I'm like, Wynn, I literally just walked through the freaking door to take a piss. He's like, there's no time for that. You need to be out here. And I'm like, whatever. So I take a piss. I get up, wash my hands, go back out, whatever. Connor's holding a freaking, like, what we thought was a replica freaking, like, World War I Civil War type shit gun.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So, Wynn's looking at the thing. Wynn's not touching it. He's like, if I touch it, my fingerprints are on it, and then, like, if it was, like, used in a crime, like, then I'm a suspect now because I touched the fucking gun.
Shit got dark.
God damn, man.
Like,
You
Wynn,
that,
what the fuck?
you be that paranoid, bro?
And I'm like, Wynn. And he's like, nope, not doing it. Kate's like, I don't think it's real. Connor's like, it ain't real.
The only thing that she knows for a fact that's real is fucking food, that fat piece of shit.
Anyhow, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, either way, a gun got donated. So first thing I do, I call Jim. Doesn't answer his phone. Call the old district manager, Rick. Doesn't answer his phone. Call the assistant manager, Mandy. Mandy answers her phone. I'm like, hey, so this gun was donated. It looks like a replica. I'm not sure what to do. She's like, well, whether it's a replica or not, call Colony Police, because any weapons or whatever that could donate, like, they need to, like, take it and shit. And I'm like, all right. So, already call the police. Rick calls me back. Yeah, I got your voicemail. You got a gun. Call the police. If any weapons get donated, they need to frickin' take it from us. I'm like, all right, I already did that. Mandy answered before you did. All right. Jim finally calls me back. Yeah, you got a gun. Okay, what you're gonna do, take it and put it in the office. I'm like...
Sorry.
I'm like, okay, I'm putting it in the office after everyone else told me to fucking, like, call the cops. He's like, yeah, if it's just a replica, it's not a big deal. So, Wynn gets on the phone with Jim. He's like, Jim, it's a real fucking gun. I told her to call the fucking cops.
That's right.
Cops come to find out. The cop even said, he's like, no, this gun's been fired before. It's a real fucking gun. You did the right thing. But that's the type of fucking boss Jim is. He's like, oh, gun was donated, put it in the office. We had grenades. You know what I would have done? Just pulled the freaking, like, tab and thrown them in the dumpster to see if they exploded.
Nice.
So here's my thing.
Anyway.
So I can already hear it happening. Kate saying, that's not real. I'm gonna be like,
being arrested.
Smack the shit out of her with a burger. I bet you that's fucking real. Fucking oversized blimp.
Before we move on, yeah, I was shocked as hell because, like, you know, I know Mom went to the store the other day, so I called you because I thought you were with Mom, and I'm like, hey, see where you at? Like, I got dropped off. I'm like, got dropped off? Like, we at a friend's house or something? You're like, I'm at a hotel, and I'm like, oh, really now? You're at a hotel. Like, I thought you and Mom were just going. You guys went out shopping, so.
She went shopping, right?
So of course,
Grade A meat.
The first person I text is Junior.
Oh my god.
Oh, Junior.
Hey, Junior, remember we're on a cruise, right?
What are you talking about?
Thank God she hasn't heard episode 30 yet. That shit was a blast.
Wait, what are you talking about, though? Seriously.
Oh, she was at. I told you she was at a hotel again for the past couple of days. She got back today.
Oh.
No, I got back on Sunday.
I don't know.
After waiting alone for a couple of nights again.
Jesus. Nah, that's not me. That's not me. I'm over here. All right.
Hey, I have to make jokes. She's cool. It sucks it happened before.
I'm glad you had a good time, though.
We
You came back looking like nice and refreshed.
I mean, anybody would.
No holes in any walls. Motherfucker making me wait boom.
Yeah.
No, I have a feeling when Sue gets mad, shit gets broken. I don't know what it is, but I just have this feeling shit gets broken.
No, I don't think Sue breaks stuff when she's mad. I just think she likes to fight.
He obviously has not seen me at the dumpster.
Yeah.
At Goodwill.
Junior,
No.
we missed it. Me, Alan, Elliot, before we move on. How do you do the Florida Man Challenge?
The Florida Man Challenge? You just have to look it up.
You're an expert on
You
that
type
shit.
in Florida Man and then the date.
Yeah, but Junior's got down to a science. Like, he needs to move to Florida.
So,
Oh, yeah, if I move to Florida, I'll die.
question.
I'll
for you,
literally
Sue.
die.
Did you like that hot, spicy basement meme I put up?
What's today's date? The 22nd?
Is it?
Question. No, it's
25th.
25th. August 25th.
All right, let's see what happened August 25th.
Oh,
Someone shot off a big toe and then cooked it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Didn't happen in Florida, but in 2003, I lost my mother on August
Jesus.
25th.
Shit got
That
dark.
got dark
I know.
fast.
It got dark quick.
Like, the Florida Man is stupid fun.
All right. Florida man pled
That's
guilty
not
Wednesday in Miami federal court to transmitting threatening communication regarding the killing of Jewish people.
Wow.
It
Wait,
says it says federal authority Hanson Richard Larkin, 26, of DeLand, Florida, will be facing a possible maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. Officials say Larkin met an individual online in 2017, and over time they became friends, communicating via a text, phone, and various social media outlets. On occasion during the 2 years leading up to August 25th, 2019, Larkin told this individual about his hatred for Jews. Authorities said on August 24th, 2019, Larkin traveled to Miami from DeLand. Once in Miami, Larkin sent a serious threatening text messages to the Miami man. I brought a gun with my first paycheck. If I don't meet you, I'll be forced to use it. Jesus.
That shit got dark.
My
Got
God.
dark fast.
Okay.
Florida Man Challenge gets a little crazy. Like,
I mean,
so since we're not going to be together tomorrow, I figure I might as well do tomorrow's Florida Man Challenge because,
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, you better come down Saturday, so.
All right, what does it say here?
I mean, worst case scenario, I could look up Florida Man Challenge.
Not the way Junior's because that's a Florida man.
All right, no, I'm not the Florida Man. All right, I don't eat bath salts,
You are the Florida Man. I am the freaking like.
Eats ass.
and I eat ass. I'm
Yeah,
a Florida Man. I'm not the Florida Man, but
So
you
you're
know,
the Florida man ass eater?
pretty much at this point.
Florida Man ass eater. I'm the freaking like. What is it? Freaking Amazon reviews
Oh God,
storyteller.
I can't read.
I'm going to call you the butcher.
Jesus Christ.
Why the butcher?
Because apparently you got yourself a nice, good cut of meat.
Jesus Christ. So August 26th for the Florida Man Challenge.
When can we actually dub Elliot an inconvenient fat person?
No, I'm an inconvenient, offensive person. You should hear the stuff I do on Xbox Live.
Fatality.
I do an amazing zombie army impersonator.
Nobody can do an evil German voice the way Elliot can. He's like he was made to like kill Jews for some
No.
reason.
I
Oh
was
yeah,
made to be
he did that.
offensive.
You guys did do that for me. That was hysterical.
Whoever was born August 26th, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you have to hear this.
No, he's not.
But on August 26th, 2014, a guy was arrested for eating a person's face off after consuming 4 ounces of bath salts.
I've heard about that
Zombie
shit.
apocalypse.
Fucking bath
That
salts.
I have heard about.
I remember even Joe Rogan talked about that, like bath salts, man. That's some sick. Even Joe was like, "How do you eat a person's fucking face, man? Like, it just what are them bath salts doing to you?"
It's only in Florida, too, because there's nowhere else in the United States that this has happened. It's only Florida. Like, I just don't get it. The Florida Man Challenge is just like... Well, the idea of the Florida Man Challenge is the fact that people are just fucking crazy. Like, it's shit that'll happen up there that you will never hear about anywhere else. It's like, Florida is just ridiculous. Like, holy
But
shit.
then again, all these riots and lootings are not happening in Florida.
Because they have alligators walking the streets. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
You don't
the
want to fuck with
alligators are also making signs now that tell the joggers if you see a car passing by, move to the right. Where all of the alligators are.
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
While squirrels
Could you
in
imagine
Arizona
alligator-
are begging for water.
Could you imagine?
Oh, that was the cutest fucking thing.
It was.
Could you imagine alligator versus your dad?
Oh my god. Well, I mean, his dad already beat a velociraptor with 3 teeth.
All right. All right. First of all, he fucked a velociraptor with 3 teeth.
Oh, boy.
But
And then told you about it.
it made it clear.
Plus, you heard it, too.
No, I heard it.
That was her teeth flicking off of
I
her
heard
with
it.
very few teeth in her skull.
I heard it though. That was the most horrifying experience of my life.
Fat hitting fat.
Oh God!
More like fat hitting bone. It was
Are you
what, a
kidding me?
98-pound freaking like velociraptor.
I'm pretty sure his fat was like slapping into itself from
Okay, yeah, probably.
Oh my God! That's disgusting.
How does it feel having that image put into your head?
Oh wait, fat slapping against itself. Oh,
You drunk enough for this?
I am not.
Well, I made fun of Sue. I gotta do you, and Chris isn't safe either.
Well, we know Chris isn't safe. He's figuring out the next 3 lines of his poetry. The next lesbian.
I seen something Sunday driving that if Junior was here, he would have got out the car and probably went to jail. But this woman was walking, and again, I know I got a fucking great body, and I'm not scared to hide it. This woman had a belly shirt on, and I'm looking from a distance like, is that? I couldn't tell if it was like a bag or something. It wasn't a bag. She was wearing a belly shirt, and the best way I can describe it is like taking the Pillsbury Doughboy and like basically like flattening him out and mushing it, and that was like 2 layers of her stomach. And as she's walking, both layers are like, one layer is going left and one layer is going right, and it's like moving with her walking. It's like in slow motion, and I almost crashed the vehicle. I'm like, I'm just like staring in pure disgust, but also astonishment. Like, if Junior would see this right now, like,
No.
how are
Okay.
you wearing a
I
belly?
mean, the amount of confidence a person that size
The fact
has
that
to have.
It was like,
I
it's like
can
2
beat that.
pale pancakes coming down in front of her pants, and it's like jiggling as she's walking. I'm like, holy
No,
shit.
no.
I would've just
hate
murdered her.
that. You know those bandana shirts that women wear?
Yeah.
I saw a girl who was big. She was so big that you know how you have to tie the bandana shirts around your back? They vanished between the folds of her fat. Like, they were fucking gone. You saw the bandana in the front vanished on the sides, and then you saw the knot in the back.
See, this is there's a reason that this is happening for. There's a reason that this is happening for, and I'm gonna give you the very
Is this
good reason for it.
revenge on you for making fun of your dad for all these years?
No, what this is that now you now you heard about now you know everybody knows Lizzo, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now we all know Lizzo is
Big woman.
she's
Yeah.
big, like
That's a
she's
huge bitch.
See, there's some women that walk around here acting like they're Lizzo. Like, they're just like, you know, they feel like wearing a belly shirt with that much fat hanging out is okay because Lizzo is just out here doing her thing. So it's like, if she got all the confidence, why can't I? And it's just like, Lizzo's worth 12 million. You're worth $3.73. Like, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
You're eating McDoubles and fucking fish fillets thinking, oh, Lizzo's doing it too. Like, no, you fat bitch. You're not Lizzo. You are just a fat bitch, and you shouldn't be having this sort of confidence. Like, it's disgusting. Because if as a fat guy walks down the street with his fucking belly hanging out so fucking far that it's ridiculous, everybody would post that shit on fucking Facebook and shame the shit out of him. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But this stupid fat cunt can sit there with a fucking belly shirt and have 2 flappy pancakes fucking wisping around in the fucking wind.
It was the
like, it's fucking
That is, like,
ridiculous.
something that me and your mom, Chris, were talking about one time when we went to the beach. We see this chick go walking past us. She's in a bikini, and she's already dying.
Oh my god, I can hear it. I can hear it before you even say it. Jesus.
And
fat bitch.
I'm sorry.
there are different types of fat people.
There are.
Yeah.
There are.
There are like the fat people that are too flabby, and then there are the fat people that are
That are
their weight.
mass. They are mass.
Then there's Jabba the Hutt people.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh, Mark.
So this chick, she wasn't really like flabby. She was more like solid.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she's like at least like 350 to 400 pounds,
That's so bad.
God.
and she's wearing a bikini on the beach. And just walk around, no shame.
I'd have threw a rock at her.
the widow.
Whatever. And
I would
like,
throw a rock at her.
Nancy and I are sitting there and we're looking at each other and like, now granted, I'm nowhere near this woman's size. Nancy, of course, is nowhere near this woman's size.
Elliot, that's a big bitch.
That's a huge bitch.
And I just look over at your mother and I'm like, to have that amount of confidence in yourself that you are walking around in a bikini that is riding up your ass, that your tits are almost falling out of, and you are that big.
Did she have like the weird discolored thighs or skin too?
No.
I'm gonna get
That's
sick.
because the sun can't get to it. That's why.
No.
I'm gonna get fucking sick.
Now, I don't like wearing a freaking one piece to the beach half the time.
Your cousin Jen does.
And this bitch is wearing a freaking 2-piece.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
That's why you can't bring Junior out in public.
Just the thought of it really. I mean, I see some shit like
I'm
walking
mad.
around.
I'm really mad,
but
Chris, that you
God.
know exactly how I feel. Like, I feel
I
like
think of that picture where it's like,
How are you mad about it? He's known you your entire
I can
fucking
picture
life.
they show a fat woman. It's like kids like tapping his ass. Is like, what was it for? Like, open up a pack of cigarettes. It's like,
it's fucking like I just don't get it, and it's just like, you know what? I'm not body shaming at all because obviously I'm not in fucking shape. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going around body shaming. But at the same time, you don't see me wearing some fucking tight ass fucking
That's what I'm
pants.
saying.
You don't see me
and a
wearing
fucking tight ass
Speedo.
shirt.
yeah, like
You know
I went
what
to
I
gym
mean? Like-
yesterday. I made sure I dressed appropriately.
Yeah.
Like you
Like,
don't see,
even-
like nobody trusts me on this planet wants to see me in a fucking Speedo.
But
I tell
here's
you
the
that right
thing,
now. Like,
There's
Like I
probably
said.
somebody.
I'm not comfortable wearing a two-piece. Now, if I'm gonna wear a two-piece, like I do have one that is like the one that they would wear in like the 50s where it like goes up. It's
So
still
much
covering like your
like
stomach.
the kind of bustier
Those,
almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
it has like the bustier
I
type
know what you're
top
talking
and
about.
shit. Like,
When women look good.
yes.
Oh my God, I would fuck some of those pinup chicks.
Like that type
Bam!
of bathing suit I'm comfortable wearing. Not something that is practically a thong and like a G-string and like
Looks
where
like
it's
strings
literally
with
just covering
tape
your
on them.
nipples.
Yeah.
My stomach is like upset right now. just
Even like
thinking
the
about
women
that
that
fat bitch
are
on that beach.
quote unquote in shape look kind of fucked up in those things. I'm like, God damn.
That's Louis Black.
So
Now,
far
of
up your
course,
ass, you
we
might
did
taste
see
it.
a reverse effect the last time we went to the beach.
Men puking everywhere.
Now, mind you, first time we went to Grafton this summer, there was the huge fat chick.
you fat bitch.
That's a huge
This time, there was this chick who was super skinny, no tits, no ass, no nothing.
So, body of a
Nothing.
10-year-old
I'd
boy.
bang her.
Nothing whatsoever. Not a single thing. Like, there is nothing to grip. There is nothing. Like, and she had a butterface.
Damn, so she
you're
was
telling me
ugly
she was a
and
walking
skinny?
plank.
Ugly and super skinny.
my
Oh
type.
God, that's the worst.
Super skinny.
Even she would reject me. Fuck.
Now, of course, she goes walking past us. Now, the funny part is like, for what it's worth, Mark is not, like, funny in any way, shape, or form. But his mom is fucking hysterical. This girl goes walking...
We know where all the good qualities went, apparently. Stayed with his mom. He got nothing.
So, Lisa sees this chick walking past us, and she's like, oh my god, I want to cook for her. And, like, Kaya and I just look at each other, and we look at her, and we're like, well, what? And she's like, look at that skinny bitch. She's like, she looks like she's ready to die. There's no meat on her bones.
Mark's dad was a player.
His dad was a player, apparently his mom's funny, and then there's him.
He got no good
Wait a minute.
His dad was slinging dick.
It's like his dad was slinging dick. His mother,
hilarious.
he's hilarious. He was slinging dick, and he's a player.
And his mom's funny as hell.
His mom is funny as hell,
In her younger days, like,
and probably has a good personality.
yeah.
Oh fuck.
And then you got this fucking redhead.
Cat.
That's a virgin at 40. That's got gray hair. Look like a fucking Gringer.
He is the simp lord. Oh God.
It's like, how do you just miss every good gene?
God started laughing and said, fuck this guy, he gets nothing. Boom.
It's like, you know, for whatever good qualities his parents had, God must have, like, smited them in some way from a past life
Christ.
to give them Mark.
I swear, I don't know what happened, but all I know is that
Wait till Carlton hears this.
the genes has just got. I mean, the genes are gone. Like, he's just his own entity. Like, I'm surprised the father didn't get a DNA test.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I'm pretty sure. Like,
Apparently, he, like, does have a resemblance to Mark, so...
Only in looks, not in talent of any sort.
Like,
Well, I
apparently,
mean-
like, he knew how to talk to women.
Not Mark.
wanna
No,
see
his
your
dad.
dick
His
pic?
dad has
His dad.
all the talent. Mark has nothing. He was like, you know what? I have no more room. I'm that talented. You get my disappointment.
I'm just thinking, Joan, like you're very good talking to women. Just like, you know, according to your dad, he's ladies' man.
No. Yeah. With fucking.
The way his face just dropped.
With fucking meth head velociraptors.
The way his face just dropped.
His dad's like, son, this is how you talk to the ladies.
Okay, all right.
He's like, no, I gotta eat their ass because I'm
Junior,
ashamed
there's
of them
something
to
I have
look
to tell
at me.
you. So remember, many years ago. You probably don't remember this from many years ago, but I remember this. So, there were many years ago, Junior's on the phone with a girl upstairs. His dad's here working on the bathroom floor.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And shit. Nancy beat the crap out of Junior because Junior's always saying how fat his dad is. She slaps the shit out of him.
That was actually funny. I remember that
Slaps the shit out of him and says, he's not that fat. Quit picking on your dad.
He's definitely that fat because he's not even wearing. He can't wear sneakers.
Clearly. But, so, Junior's sitting there, he's on his phone, talking to, like, all these different girls and whatever, and his dad's like, who you talking to? He's like, I'm talking to my ladies, and he's like, I, for the life of me, always thought that he said to Junior, tell your mom I said hi, meaning Junior has no game, he was only talking to his mom. Apparently it was, tell their mom I said hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
because he has a thing. I don't know what it is.
If it had been what I originally thought it was, your dad actually would have gotten like some points as being hysterical.
The thing that pisses me off about that conversation, which is every single conversation, because he's met a few of my girlfriends. Mm-hmm. Mom has met more, obviously, because I'm too embarrassed to introduce any other girl to him. But the thing is,
That's why I picture stripping the guy's face.
yep, that's me. So, what it was with him, every single time Dad met every single one of my girls, he was like, "Is their mom single?" And it pissed me off because of the fact that it's like they don't want you at all. And what the fuck is up with you with family relations? Because if you were fucking my girl's mom, and I'm fucking the girl, it's a fucking family affair. You sick fuck.
Yeah, because if he were to marry the mom,
I'd be fucking my stepsister.
Fucking your stepsister.
It's like he doesn't get that. Like, he's too fucking stupid to see that. So he's like, "Is your mom single?" With that stupid fucking laugh.
does she make good cinnamon buns?
That shit pissed me the fuck off. You know what? You keep mentioning them cinnamon buns because you know that shit still makes me angry to this day. It makes me so angry to this day that when it just made me realize that there are fat people in this world that literally eat so much that they can't even keep track of what they're eating.
My favorite still is the bear.
Oh, God. The bear.
The bear.
He couldn't say, he can't say bear. Yeah,
Bear.
Burr.
Yeah,
He was holding his chest. The man could have been suffering.
Maybe.
What it be, heartburn?
no, it was just gas.
You know, I swear to God, I'm kind of glad I haven't heard any stories now. It's like, you know, he called me from the bathroom making these grunting and groaning signs. I didn't understand him, and I think it was toilet paper. I don't know.
No. See, this is a story that I haven't really told anybody. This is a brand new story. This is brand new.
Before I get serious.
Brand new.
Brand new.
How brand new are we talking here?
I've never told anybody this story before.
Okay,
because I was
you didn't
ashamed.
Tell anybody doesn't mean.
It's 5 years old.
Okay.
But I never told anybody because
Christ.
I was severely embarrassed
Yeah.
by this. Probably the most embarrassing moment I've ever had with my dad in my entire life. Which is why I don't like being in public.
Question.
So, you know, this is what ended up happening.
Where's that
Here we
go?
go.
I was sitting there, and I had a couple of girls that I was meeting up with at the Tulip Festival. Mm-hmm. Now, as everybody knows, the Tulip Festival is actually pretty boring. There's not really much to do at the Tulip Festival.
All there is like food.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
The music is terrible.
His dad would fit in.
Little kids running around wanting to get punched in the head.
This is
And like some like weird ass ceremony where they crown like some chick like Miss Tulip Fest.
yeah.
Okay, huh?
Yeah.
They're never good looking. They're from Albany.
That's true as well.
I could tell Junior a really good joke later then.
So here's what happened.
My apologies to any women from Albany.
Don't apologize because most of them are trash. Anyway, I was sitting there and I'm walking with him. Now he came to the Tulip Fest, right? But he quickly left But the way that he left and what he said kept me angry at him for the rest of my life.
Okay.
So,
angrier than you've already been.
Yes. The lake house, right? You know where the lake house is, right? That gigantic building. So we pretty much started there. We met up there.
Yeah, that's where they finished off Lights in the Park every
Yes.
year. And that's where they have, like, the
theaters.
place.
Yep, the plays and stuff like that. You can actually go in there during the Tulip
Park
Fest.
Playhouse, yeah.
Yeah, you can go in there during the Tulip Fest to actually for, like, exhibits and some feats. And they actually have food stalls in there as well.
Yeah.
So we started there, and I met up with a couple of my friends. Dad shows up. Mm-hmm. First thing he says out of his mouth already got me mad. He's like, "Oh, I didn't think you'd invite your old man."
Question: did you actually invite him?
Yes. So I just
like in his defense though, you're always like tormenting him. You're always talking.
Tormenting him. He tormented me.
Okay,
like all he
it's like
does.
a mutual thing.
It's not mutual. I don't do anything to that man.
Junior.
Okay, first of all, he deserved that. He deserved that. I will forever laugh at him.
I don't understand the finger thing. It looks disturbing considering your taste.
You don't know the story. I'll tell you the story behind that right after this. So, we start off, we walk not even 13 steps later.
Hang on. Joe, I'm going to give you something to cry about.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. So, not even 13 steps later, we pass a food stall.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hold up, I gotta get a snack." We didn't even fucking walk 10 steps yet. Like, you didn't eat before you left the fucking house? What the fuck? Like, in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like, we just met up. Like, you didn't eat on all the fucking stalls you passed? Like, you literally live on the opposite side of the Tulip Fest. You saw all the food stalls. So he stopped at the first one. So, each food stall is about like 6 to 7 steps apart, right? Mm-hmm. They're not that far apart. Like, literally, the whole strip is nothing but food stalls.
Yeah. I don't like that one whole section of Washington Park.
Yep.
Where they have like the benches and shit.
I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. He stopped at every food stall except for one. And
Did they sell salads at that one?
Hell no. But here's what it was though that pissed me off. He didn't stop. It was the Jamaican one. Oh. With like all the curry and stuff like that. He didn't stop at that one. Makes sense, huh? But he stopped at every single food stall and got a shit ton of food. Like at every single one. And it seemed like he was done eating it before he hit the next fucking stall. So he literally stopped off at every food stall and we had to stop right along with him. He's the biggest fucking person in line. Like literally, you can see him from stalls away. Yeah. Like you can just see him online. Like he just fits right the fuck in. Like if he's a landmark. He's as big as a fucking landmark. So I can literally just be like, hey, you see the big fat black guy in the fucking line at the food stall? Yeah, that's where I'm standing. Like you literally put him on a fucking waypoint on a Halo map. Like it's fucking ridiculous. Like it's just like, what the fuck? So
give him a blue shirt.
By the time we left the last food stall that he stopped off at, it was literally like a whole hour went by. This man did nothing but eat for a whole fucking hour. And then he had a nerve to say, my legs hurt, I'm going back to the house. He had nothing but food crumbs all over him. And it was just so fucking disgusting looking at him. But then he looked back and he was like, I'll see you at the house, son. And he just walked away. And it was just like, why the fuck did you call me son? You are the most disgusting fucking slob of shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. You stopped at every single fucking food stall and ate a whole meal except for one over the course of an hour. Jesus. Like, what the fuck? Like, you really made me look like I'm taking care of a fucking my 600-pound life fuck. Like, it was just like, what the fuck was going on? And it was just like, all my friends were looking at me like, is that really your dad? I know that that's not your dad. That's really your dad? Like, how the fuck did he...
actually, like, were admitting to people that it was your dad, though?
It was just like, I didn't have a choice. He called me son. And then he literally...
just walk up and call you son, though. I mean, like, the hairline, like, helped a bit, but...
Good, like, his blood sugar might be through the roof and he's hallucinating.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing that got me pissed off. When one of my friends asked me, did he really hook up with your mom? Like... And it was just
something you didn't want to think about.
Nothing, not at all. And it's just immediately, it was just nothing but embarrassment and disappointment that I had in him. Where it's just like, you just couldn't hold your appetite back just long enough for me to just disappear and for you to embarrass yourself. Like, it was just like, you literally had, and it was just like, wait, hold up. Here's another food stall here, guys, Gotta feed the big man. Like, how much do you gotta fucking eat? Like, Jesus Christ.
Half his body weight a day.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I really don't know how much food this man can consume over the course of a single day. I really don't. Like, that is a question I can never answer. Because I know he doesn't keep track. Because he already assumes that I still stole food from him. Like, he really thought that I would get up while he's sleeping to go into his freezer and to make food while he's sleeping.
Sounds like it'd be an amazing Nat Geo documentary.
Like, seriously, it's like, and then, like, when
Rocky,
like, what the fuck? Like, how are you so fucking big you can't keep track of what the fuck you eat? Like,
it's not even the fact of being big, because, a skinny person can forget what they've eaten. It's the fact of, just not...
I'm sorry. I don't know why, but I just pictured this fat ass dude puts dragging a deer along every now and then, taking a few bites and just keeps walking with the fucking deer behind him.
And he can't wear sneakers. That's another thing that pisses me off to this day. The fact that you are a regular human in society and you cannot wear sneakers. Like, I can wear sneakers. You can wear sneakers.
So,
Chris, Elliot, all of you can wear sneakers.
Hard. Size 16, extra wide.
But you can still wear sneakers. He can't wear sneakers.
Boots.
Like, he can only wear slippers or boots. That's it.
now, he does have a special pair of sneakers.
The brand name is called Sneaker.
My God. See, this would make a great documentary. Like, if you hear that squeaking, that is of fattest, blackest getting up in the morning. My God, if you hear the groans of suffering, it's because his weight is fighting against him. Yeah,
tell him the story of the
bear.
No, not the bear.
That's a skunk.
Oh, is it the one that I laughed at him?
Either that or one of your neighbors spread their legs, Chris.
Jesus.
It's either a skunk or maybe Moody is here.
Smells like someone getting hit with a rock to me.
So, which story do you want to hear about, Elliot? Is it the one about the bear, or is it the one about the
Well, he's still alive, so apparently he beat the bear and maybe ate it.
So, is it the one where he tripped and I laughed at him, or
Yeah, we heard that one.
Huh?
You heard that one already?
We've heard that.
Yeah,
one.
I think he's talked about that.
We
before.
did that in the podcast. That one we had. That was awesome.
That wasn't awesome. What was awesome? What
Us laughing at you?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I get chuckles out of the Velociraptor story.
Well, so we'll repeat that. Well, I should say because Susan can't comment, obviously, but like, when Al and Elliot were commenting from Carlton's house. So how was your experience at Carlton's place?
my experience at Carlton's place, I was not depressed by the time I left. When I arrived there, I was ready to murder everybody. By the time I left, there was only a couple of people I wanted to murder.
Your dad being one of them.
Oh, I always want to kill him. That's not even a thing. Like, there's just a moment that I'm ready to poison his fucking food. But
Poor gas station worker.
So,
Was Chris one of them?
No.
Damn.
But the thing was that see, here's the thing. It was definitely a stress releaser.
Yeah.
To just be there. Like, when I walked outside on the deck, and I smelled fresh air.
Not gunshots or
like
weed,
I didn't smell weed. I didn't smell gunshots. I didn't smell like the gunpowder. I didn't smell, I didn't smell
Trash.
somebody's smelly ass fucking breath. I didn't smell, just pollution in itself. You know what I mean? Like, you just didn't smell it. You smelled a different smell. And I haven't had that in a while. Like, the last time I had something like that was a few years ago when I went to the lake house in Northville. That was the last time I ever had that sort of sensation where it was just like completely stress free. Like literally the stress was leaving my body by the hour.
Yeah.
And it was probably one of those, it was definitely it was more therapeutic for me than a good time, because literally sometimes you seriously need to just get out of here. Like there's just no, but when you go up there and you like physically live up there, you don't ever feel like that you want to get out of there. No. You know what I mean? But when you're down here and you see all the stupidity and you talk to people and you deal with their stupidity, when you're at work and you deal with their stupidity, then you're at home and you deal with other people's stupidity, it's just like you can only deal with so much stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and people would ask, what is my idea of people being stupid? When my idea of people being stupid is not being able to apply common sense to when they speak. And that is about 98% of people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It's like I have an extreme high standard of people needing to be intelligent to be around me. Like, I can't be around somebody that's stupid. I can't, because literally I would just be angry all the time. Like, I really cannot, unless I'm drunk, because then that makes me stupid. So I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm drunk enough to just be stupid myself, then I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean being stupid like I'm calling them stupid. I mean being stupid like I'm not really giving a fuck and I'm just laughing at any dumb thing that they're saying. But people are just legitimately stupid. It's like I was talking to Karen, and everything that Karen was saying was just like, wow. Like, it was just like, I'm actually hearing intelligence. Like, when Carlton and Karen is talking, I'm hearing intelligence. Like, and it's just like, wow, it's not something I hear every day. Like, I literally just hear stupidity.
Not to mention, like, the shit keeps, like, every damn past couple of days now, to another cop shot another black guy. It's like, but more Antifa versus Black Lives Matter, more fucking buildings are being burnt down. Another library was vandalized, because apparently vandalizing a library, that's supposed to equalize police brutality. But yeah, it's just like all the shit we keep seeing every single day on our phones.
Yep.
It doesn't happen out there.
Nope.
None of it.
Well, I mean, another thing is too, it's just the fact that it's like when all these incidences that's getting talked about when it comes to like Antifa versus Black Lives Matter and all that extra dumb shit, those are all isolated incidences that people are not making isolated. It's like, these are the real isolated incidences that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want to talk about the issues that's a continuous issue. It's an epidemic. This violence is an epidemic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But nobody wants to talk about it because they consider those isolated incidences. When the only reason why they're calling it an isolated incident is because they don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? When you talk about a cop shooting a black guy, you know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the entirety of that video. I watched the entirety of that video of what happened in Wisconsin that day.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
But yeah. I'm not gonna get too far into it.
Yeah.
But I watched the entirety of that video, and it was fucked up. But again, that is an isolated incident. Do you want to know why that's an isolated incident? Because there is at least 200 to 400,000 cases per year that cops solve, that cops have to deal with. And then out of those, I would say probably in 2015 was probably the most, was like 370,000 calls that cops have had in certain areas around the country. Like in the Northeast, it was like probably like close to 500,000 calls that they had. Out of those 500,000 calls, maybe like 130 of them became violent. So out of a 500,000 calls, 130 gets violent. Yeah. That is an isolated incident to me.
That's a problem.
You know what I mean?
That's the issue nowadays with the media. The media, social media, all people.
They don't make it isolated. Yeah. They make it a big epidemic.
Yeah, we'll get into that in no time, because I know
the
past 2 days I've had a lot of discussions about that, and I've actually got I've never had arguments, surprisingly, which is shocking. The past 2 days I've had 500 likes on 2 different Facebook websites, and I made common sense, and I spit some truth, and I've had discussions for the first time. I've had discussions in a long time about this incident where it's like, it's fucked up, but you can have discussions. And for the first time, I'm shocked that the past 24 hours, I've had a lot of discussions with people. I'm like, wow, first time no one's arguing, no one's threatening nobody, no one's swearing. We just said, I don't agree. The situation is very complicated.
It's funny how no one's threatening you over something that's real.
Yeah.
But if you comment on the fact that, you liked this version of a movie better than this version of a movie, they're ready to stab you.
I mean, no, it would definitely get deeper into it once I get my other point across. But it's definitely about context, because it's coming to the issue I'm seeing is that seeing a 10-second video versus a 1-minute video, even like say for instance an 8-minute video versus a 4-minute video, a lot of shit gets taken out in 4 minutes, and this situation is far from over. So. But I was even texting Al about that because Al couldn't make it tonight. But even a day after, they've already had reported they're burning down buildings and they're burning down vehicles. So I'm not sure how solving police brutality is the answer is burning down vehicles and buildings. Not sure, but okay.
The moment,
and that's peaceful. That's peaceful, right? So you're burning down buildings. That's peaceful.
It's not, because people have died with that. There was a segment that I read about before where this police chief actually started crying because he was like, I'm trying this, where no changes are going to happen overnight. You can't expect legislation to get thrown in the next day, even after all the rioting was said and done. Because look at the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement, when Martin Luther King died, lasted from 1964 to 1968. Yeah. Around late 1968 is when the Civil Rights Movement actually came into play. It didn't happen overnight. It took 4 years. But the country wasn't destroyed in 4 years. The entire country was not going to shambles in 4 years. There was a single riot in that one area where Martin Luther King died. It didn't spread throughout the entirety of the country. There were legitimate peaceful protests throughout the country. There were not riots throughout the country. Towns were not getting destroyed throughout the country. See, people need to really learn their history, because if people are going to try to throw history into their faces, then really learn the history before you're made to look stupid.
Well, that's like the fact that, like, if you pay attention, Martin Luther King's niece, I think it is, she's been going on the record a lot lately saying, you're rioting, you're burning stuff, you're causing fights, you're, like, doing these protests. Like, the peaceful protests, whatever, that's fine, but when they turn into something other than peaceful, she's like, you're saying, this is something that will honor him, and, like, you're agreeing with, like, what he did. She's like, this isn't what he fought for.
Exactly. Not at all. This isn't what he died for.
Nope.
Martin Luther King died as a part of an agenda. He didn't die because some raging person just couldn't deal with the fact that black people could get equality. He died for an agenda. He died because...
He did. Malcolm X did.
No, Malcolm X died because of an agenda.
John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy died because of an agenda.
Robert Kennedy.
Died because of an agenda. Like,
Or
all of them.
The Kennedy curse, whichever one you want.
No, it's the agenda.
That was an agenda.
They think that here's what the agenda is, and I say this over and over and over again, but I will say it once again on this podcast. Conflict brings profit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. Controversy and conflict brings profit. That is what's going to happen here. You know what I mean? Let's say somebody like me stands out and calls for the entire world to come together. I want to throw one big ass party, bring everybody from around the world. I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care where you're from. I don't care anything. I want you to come, and I want you to embrace our culture, and I want to embrace your culture. I want to bring unity. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. I will die for that. You want to know why? Because if they only make money from conflict, look at the military, how much money they spend in the military, but how underpaid the soldiers are. Yeah. You spend billions of dollars on toys for soldiers making $40,000 a year to use. Where does this make sense? How do we spend more in our military than 30 countries combined, and 26 of them are allies, but we have underpaid soldiers? Yeah. So if you have to see that there's an agenda. You know what I mean? The government passed 4 stimulus packages, and only one of them were for the American people. There has to be some sort of agenda that nobody wants to talk about. But what we want to do is we want to isolate an incident that happens, which is a fucked up incident. Cop kills the dude isn't dead, he's in critical condition, but that's not the point. The point is the fact that you isolate the incident of this cop shooting this black person, regardless of what's going on, regardless of the circumstance behind it. You know what I mean? I don't care what the incident. I don't even care about the situation in itself. What I care about is the fact that this gets isolated. This particular incident now is brought to the light. Now everybody now wants to start again rioting, again doing dumb shit, again doing all this extra stuff. You want to do all of that again. But you're ready to forget about these kids that's dying out here in the streets. I'm not even talking about sex trafficking anymore. I'm not even talking about any. I'm talking about straight up violence. That kids are dying.
And no one does nothing about that, though.
Nobody is saying anything about it. Like
I seen earlier. Sorry to cut you off. Like,
yeah, no, you're good.
They somebody made a post like, now the family of this guy. I would have to look up his name. Something Blake. I forget, Donald Blake or Jacob Blake. But they've already raised like $700,000 in GoFundMe, and I said, okay, understandable.
Yeah.
Guy was innocently gunned. I'm like, but
because he's not able to provide for his kids anymore because it was heard that from the waist down he's paralyzed now.
Yeah, I mean, and right now he's in critical condition. They're not sure what's going to happen with this guy, and I agree. I watched it, and I even texted Al about that. The fact this guy got shot 7 times was fucking excessive, and it's ridiculous. And I was like, again, you guys, all this effort and time and love, now you're burning shit down, you're looting stuff. But I'm like, how many kids get killed on a given weekend, and their families get $0? And how many like, whenever these kids get killed and brutally murdered, don't see any protest for that though.
Because it doesn't push their agenda that cops are bad and defund and all that stuff.
That's a separate
because
topic,
you're trying to put because that the actual agenda that we can talk about, we can literally have an entire podcast about, because there's so many ideas out there, but only one really makes sense. You hear the conspiracy theorists and what they say. They say that people are using Black Lives Matter as a platform to increase the Democrats' influence. That's what you hear all the time. That's one of the biggest things that's out there on Facebook right now. I've seen legitimately like 12 websites, different websites. Of course, a lot of them aren't credible. Yeah. But when you see the same thing 12 times, it kind of makes it a little bit more credible than you might imagine. Yeah. But if 12 different websites said Black Lives Matter, the organization part of it is being used to make to get the Democrats more power in this election. And the way the media spins off how it's so much more serious. It's so much more serious that this cop did this as opposed to 200 shootings since Father's Day is not a problem. So you make it seem like this one guy that got shot by police isn't as bad as 200 shootings since Father's Day. Yeah. 200 people have been shot since Father's Day. Well, here in our neighborhoods.
Yeah. 98 alone.
Also, that depends on the city.
That's only in Albany. Yeah. That's only in Albany.
That's a speck. Yeah.
200 people. 200 people were shot since Father's Day in Albany, New York. Yep. But we isolate the incident of one. Yes, we do need police reform. Yes, we do. Yes, there is a reform that needs to happen with police officers. Yes, there needs to be legislation in place to not only protect the good cops that draw out the bad cops, but there also needs to be legislation to stop giving cops immunity in court. Because that one chick that was down in Texas that really walked into the wrong apartment of this guy's house, he was innocent. Yes, he was smoking weed on his couch. But he was by himself. He was innocent. He wasn't doing anything wrong. Doesn't matter whether he had a criminal record. Doesn't matter whether he had marijuana on him or not. It doesn't matter. The fact is that he had a gun to his head and he was killed execution style by a police officer sitting in his own home. You know what that chick got? Manslaughter 3, 7 to 12 years in prison. Yeah. What? You executed a man. That's murder 1. That's execution style. That's murder 1. You had every intent to take that man's life.
It's fucked up.
And you got manslaughter 3? Well, that's crazy. See, that is the part that pisses me off. Mm-hmm. That's the part. Yes, she did get sentenced. Yes, she has a criminal record. Yes, she can no longer be a cop. Yes, she had things happen to her. But she should be held to a higher standard.
Exactly.
And she should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Because if it was Chris walking into my place and he thought it was the wrong place and he puts a bullet in my head, he's going to jail for the rest of his life. Yeah. But this cop did 7 to 12.
Yeah, it's definitely it's So many side issues I want to discuss later on about.
There's so many issues. Like, it's not
Well-
the biggest issue. The biggest issue that we're having right now is that we need to stop treating what's going on as isolated incidences, because nothing is isolated anymore. If you can air everything out on social media, it's not isolated. If you can air out save our children, hashtag save our children is the biggest thing right now in social media with over almost 3.2 million shares.
It's still Black Lives Matter right now.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's legitimately save our children is the biggest thing on the thing right now. Even though
That's like how many children as of late have been getting killed
traffic,
that's
You
killed.
want to know.
and so on. Like there was that one little boy. He was riding his bike. He was 5 years old.
No, I was about to talk about that. So.
The
And he was killed.
8-year-old.
Well,
The legitimate thing that I heard and read was the guy who killed him literally killed him because of the color of his skin. Not because he knew who the kid was, not because he knew the kid's
but-
parents.
I don't want
problem
to
is-
say anything
well, the
because
problem
it's
is-
going to
well-
trigger some people.
we don't know right now. The problem is we don't know fucking the motivation this guy killed him because it's not actually been confirmed yet. They arrested the guy, but they don't have actually any. They still have yet to he has still yet to say why he killed the kid.
Doesn't matter.
He's going to jail for the rest of
no,
his
no,
life
I'm saying,
regardless.
Executed that kid. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
No, I'm
you
saying,
can tell
but-
me the
but we-
sky
but we
is
can't-
blue, and
but
I'm
we
going to say
can't-
shut the fuck
we
up.
Like
can't
whatever his reasoning, either
No,
way,
but my
though,
point is we can't
you
say.
killed a baby.
Yeah, well, that's the story I want to talk about.
You monster.
You
Anyway,
literally killed a baby.
No, but yeah, this was the thing because I want to bring this up at Carlton's house. But again, like I told Al and Elliot on Saturday, and Junior and Susan now, that I don't want to kill the vibe of this because we had a great time at Carlton Karen's house. We talked about a bunch of funny shit. Junior had a bunch of questions of Karen, and we listened back to it. And again, Carlton's looking at me, Susan. It's because it's like I'm sitting here, Carlton's there. Elliot, Al, and Junior on the side, and Karen's there. At one point, Carlton to Chris, he's like, "You're getting bored?" I'm like, "No," because Junior kept going on and on with Karen, but like I wasn't bored. Just that Carlton fed us like 19 fucking pounds of food, and I'm trying to stay awake. So it's like Junior kept asking Karen question. I liked it. I'm trying to like stay awake from a food coma. So I didn't feel like Junior. I like the fact that Junior. It may sound like it, like I'm not talking for a good hour. But I wanted
So
to,
not only did you guys not bring me, you replaced me as the only girl on the podcast as well.
Next time I'll bring you. I'll wrap
and
you
Karen,
up.
Karen
in
likes to
a
talk,
nice
which is not a
little
bad thing. No,
bow,
I
too.
wanted to let Karen get her piece and say her things, and Junior kept asking her questions. Was asking Al questions, so it's like, yeah. So
I was asking some deep
And
ass
then
questions.
Chris drinks all my alcohol.
Yep.
He does.
which I'm gonna buy more tomorrow.
I helped him.
Yeah, and then you're gonna drink it.
Yep.
I'm gonna get bring it upstairs.
Bailey's is really good. I'm about to
What
start
was-
getting
yeah.
Bailey's my
Anyway,
damn
so the
self.
point is, I had Bailey's in
Yeah, I
me.
told him to bring the Bailey. Here's the funny thing. Chris went into my mini fridge. Now, Chris
Can we go with the
made
Baileys?
fun of me because of the fact that I have a mini fridge. He's like, it's gonna make you lazier. You're not gonna, like, leave the attic. Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
become like Mark was in the basement. Now, here's the thing.
That poor
I
cat.
leave the house on a regular basis.
Exactly.
My stomach is not the same size as my head. I don't molest the cat.
Well,
Oh, Mark's stomach is way bigger than his head.
Yeah. You
Now-
give that man too much credit.
For what it's worth, making fun of my mini fridge, decides one day to come upstairs and go in my mini fridge to see what I had for alcohol.
yeah.
And he sees the Baileys, which is a huge fucking bottle of Baileys.
That's some
He's-
alcoholic shit, by the way.
And so he takes out the bottle of Baileys. I'm like, yeah, just bring it downstairs. Now, when I say bring it downstairs, Chris, what I mean is bring it down here in the basement
Oh, I don't know.
and put it in the deep
You
freezer.
didn't say basement. You said downstairs.
Now, the reason why I mean that is because now our refrigerator, Junior, you've seen our refrigerator. Elliot, you've seen our refrigerator. How it's set up, we have one full side that's the freezer, one full side that's the fridge itself. It's not that big on the inside.
No.
Yeah.
So, why would you bring it downstairs and put it in the refrigerator?
You didn't say basement. I think I was really high too. So
You gotta spell things out for Chris.
Yes.
You gotta spell
Literally
things out.
A
for
map. Like you are in the attic.
I'm
Bring
a
it to the
map, I'm a
basement.
map.
That's what's-
Not the
that's-
floor below. The
that's what
basement.
most women do. Like Chris, when you orgasm, draw a map. I'm telling you.
Like,
I'm still gonna
literally,
fuck it
I
up.
said the
but-
same thing to his mom, though.
Instruction.
I said it to his mom, though. And she's like, how did the Baileys end up in the fridge again?
God damn, we need
I'm
to
like,
walk through
I
guide for sex.
told Chris to bring it downstairs. When I said downstairs, I thought he was going to bring it down to
And
the
it's delicious.
basement.
And it's delicious.
It's good though.
Yeah.
Bailey's really good. You gotta get the White Russian one.
But between the Baileys and the Mike's Hard Lemonade and the Junior, every time it's like, I keep telling myself,
Well,
don't,
for example, also though, that bottle of Fireball that's been lasting Chris now for about 2 months.
I keep like, you know, I feel like I'm like,
He wants me to drink it with him, and I'm not.
Now
doing
here's
it.
the fun thing.
not doing it.
I
it
think
is good though. I'm
I'm
not gonna
pretty
lie.
sure. I think that is my bottle of Fireball.
I believe it is.
I think it is.
So he stole my Baileys,
Yep.
I'm to alcohol what your dad is to food.
stole my Fireball.
Yep.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Luckily, he hasn't stolen the rum chata.
The what?
Tomorrow I'm going to BJ's. I'm getting some more Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Make sure you get some Baileys too.
Mike's
like we
hard.
need some Baileys down here because
We got some Baileys upstairs. I can bring some down.
Yeah, bring it down here so that there's more
Do you want to
room.
get it while I start the story?
not now, but like the next podcast. Like I need to just go to the liquor store and get Baileys. Gander's is open, so
Yes,
Anyway.
you do.
So anyway,
I'll
no.
replace your Baileys, Susan. I'll
Anyway,
replace it.
the point was I'm nice and liquored up because I couldn't talk about this shit sober. Because it's like, so everybody, I told Al and Ellie about this on Saturday, that everybody here, all four of us, and if Jennifer shows up or Al, everybody has their breaking point. Usually Junior, it's inconvenient fat people. Susan, it's, I guess, food related. So
No,
what's your breaking point?
idiotic family members.
Fuck, we'll be here all day with that one.
Jesus Christ.
But no, for me, it's like, you know, Junior and Elliot, and whenever Al listens to this, they
That and anything to do with like someone being evil towards like animals or children.
yeah. Well, that's me. Like, what Elliot has some experience, but like Junior
That's
is
why I
not.
constantly tell the dog to attack you.
Junior is not a dad, but Junior, even though Junior and Big Al aren't dads, Karen is a mom and actually a grandmother. So I don't want to bring this down for Karen because I can imagine that Karen, it would just destroy the entire mood. And to get on what you're saying, Sue, like, that's for me. Like, I've always said, especially on social media for the past decade, insult me, make fun of me, even punch me in the face. I can take it. I don't give a fuck, you know? Even hit some of my family. I know Mom can take it, you can take it, Jamie can take it, whatever. The second you touch my kid, that's when, you know, that's it. That's when I go fucking nuclear.
See, now I don't have kids of my own personally, and not every female has a maternal instinct to begin with. But our cousin Laura, she has 2 little kids. I'm around them constantly. She was sitting in the car with me one time and she was saying, she's like, you know, for someone who doesn't have kids, she's like, you know, the moment they see you, like their eyes light up. The moment, like, Christian's around me all the time, so it's not like a big deal to him anymore when he sees me. Wyatt, like, he'll run up, like, 4th of July, for example, you barely had the freaking car in park and he was already swinging the door open. Like, I love the crap out of the kids in our family because, you know, they are a part of my family. Like, I love the shit out of them. If something happened to them, you know, you better give your soul to God.
Yeah.
Because your ass is going to
Well,
hell.
that's my whole freaking point, is that even though it's like technically Junior and Al and you and for the most part Elliot, but Elliot, you know, everybody, it's hard, even if you're not a parent, you still have an opinion on a matter.
Yeah.
I can still understand that. You don't have to be a parent to have an opinion about kids. Carlton's not a dad, but he knows that he's still the godfather to my son. So it's like I still take his opinion, you know, to some extent. But I said for me, even coming out of prison, my breaking point for me is harming kids. You know, it's like everyone's got a breaking point. It could be Junior fat people, it could be Elliot could be maybe Bible people, whatever. Elliot could be.
Yeah, see, people don't know. No one's
Al
asking
hates
question.
Al hates vegans. I understand that. But
I mean, we all know Elliot's freaking, like, breaking point. It's when women won't go willingly into his
telling you.
freaking trunk.
Oh, no. Hey, Sue.
So,
I got you
No.
a nice party pack in the back of that trunk. Has your name on it.
but I was leading to this
No.
because Sue, you know this. But
Let's
anyway,
get to
so this happened a
the-
week ago, and I don't want to bring everybody down, but I felt like because before this goes into obscurity and timeline of stuff, because it just seriously pissed me the fuck off, where I took everything in my power. We've all been there with social media where just like sometimes you get a fucking breaking point. I almost tagged the fucking dude, but I didn't. But anyway, I'll just get into it. Where, you know, Jamie, my sister, and, you know, your cousin, you seen Jamie post this.
Yeah.
This happened last week ago, and okay, so Jamie put down a hashtag. Jamie literally just said, "Rest in peace to this innocent baby," and the kid was Colin's life mattered. It said hashtag say his name. a lot of people have heard about this incident that happened, and it was Colin Hinnant, like you talked about earlier, Sue. Colin Hinnant was a 5-year-old little boy, and this 25-year-old, just disgusting piece of human garbage, walked up to this kid while he was riding his bike in his front yard, put a gun to his head, and blew his fucking brains out. Just killed the 5-year-old kid, just out of fuck the clear blue sky. Now, the first thing I'm thinking now, I first didn't hear about this because, again, it's funny how social media, nobody talked about it. Nobody.
Other than people in, like...
That's my point of fucking making. Listen, since this black guy got freaking killed, my phone, every 5 seconds between Metro Web and Google fucking News and Facebook, I see millions and millions of freaking posts. Besides Jamie, I didn't hear about this shit, period.
Jamie, your mom, and a couple other people here and there.
But Jamie's the first person I've seen.
Yeah.
But the point was that Jamie made a post just saying, rest in peace, little angel. Jamie just said, rest in peace to a kid that died. That's it. That's all it was. Nothing political, nothing... She's trying to make a point. Jamie just said that a little kid died. That's all it was. That's it. So, of course, every once in a while, after Jamie posts this, I check my Twitter feed because I've got a Twitter account now.
Oh, yeah, the douchebag who was, like, talking a ton of bullshit?
Yeah. Anyway, so this guy named Sean, and what pissed me the fuck off is that I seen this guy, Sean, he pushed down Jamie's freaking post. And what irked me was that I wound up checking Twitter on different feeds. This kid's name popped up again. And what I commented was, I didn't tag him because I don't want to get into it because I don't want to rip this guy a fucking new asshole. But he even says, too, copy and paste, repost, and share. And I said that, told this to Jamie. This guy's bullshit fucking post, I've already seen this on Twitter, copy and fucking pasted. My thing is, if you want to have a shred of intelligent conversation or a fucking thought, at least have an original thought, you fucking asshole. Okay? But the thing is, now he posted this. Jamie's not conservative. Jamie's not political. All Jamie put down was that rest in peace, little kid, because a 5-year-old was fucking brutally executed in his front lawn in front of his sister. Yeah. That's all it was. Hey, the kid died. I'm sorry about this. This guy puts down this copy and paste. Yeah. Now this says, I'm seeing a lot of my white conservative friends. Off the bat, fuck you, okay? It doesn't matter the skin color of this kid. A kid was killed. That's it. That's all that matters. A kid was killed. Doesn't matter if the kid was white or black or Hispanic or Asian. A kid was killed. That's all that matters.
No, because if you go to Jamie's comment as well, because I've read
I know, I'm about to get to that. The point was, off the fucking bat, the first thing you got to say is, I'm seeing a lot of my white conservative friends. This isn't a matter of skin color. You fucking human cum stain.
Some douchebag killed a baby.
That's all that fucking matters. But then this is what I would say, that like everything now in 2020 we do, even murdering children, is fucking politics. Mm-hmm. Like when I first heard this kid died, I didn't give a shit if this kid was black or white, or a kid died. That's it.
It was someone's beautiful little baby.
It was someone's kid. That's it. We're at the point now in 2020 where if you kill a fucking kid, it's like, oh, I'm sorry the kid died, but what color was the kid?
Doesn't matter.
The fuck does that matter? So I'll read the rest of this. So this fucking scumbag says that I'm seeing a lot of my white friends. Okay, you're white yourself, dude. Okay. Posting that justice for Cannon. The only hashtag justice was that justice that put the guy in fucking jail. They did catch the guy. The guy's in fucking jail.
In less than 24 hours.
Exactly. He'll probably get a life sentence, but who knows what he'll get. Honestly, with the justice nowadays, we'll see what the guy gets. I don't even know anymore because, it wouldn't surprise me if the guy got fucking 5 or 10 years. It truly wouldn't. The fact that right now pedophiles are still getting less sentences than guys with marijuana, it wouldn't shock me if this guy got a fucking 10-year sentence. So, but he says that, they're asking why this isn't receiving national attention, an attempt to show bias in the media, discrediting the intention of the Black Lives Matter movement and change the narrative. Yes, it's a very sad, unfortunate story. It's heartbreaking. Now, again, nothing in this fucking post. You're not saying condolences. You're not saying I'm fucking sorry. You're not saying that, hey, guys, I'm sorry your fucking kid got killed. All you're saying is like, yes, I know it's sad, but, and right there, you're already a fucking asshole. You're changing the narrative, but it's like, serious. But what are you looking to prove? What justice are you demanding? The justice was that this guy gets a fucking life sentence because he killed an innocent 5-year-old. So here it goes, and it says within 24 hours of the shooting. Now, this is what I fucking hate. Like, we've always talked about in this podcast that in social media, I have mastered the art of saying fuck you without saying fuck you. I can read sarcasm. This person puts down in parentheses that, like, within 24 hours of the shooting, not weeks, not months, 1 day. Right there. The parents of this fucking kid doesn't give a shit. The guy got caught within a week or a month or a day. The guy was fucking caught. But now you're making it all about you. And like, oh, well, the guy was caught within a day. Doesn't matter when the guy was caught. He killed the fucking kid, you know? Tell his fucking parents, well, they caught the guy already. Okay, let's keep going. That's the whole premise behind the Black Lives Matter movement. Because a black man, and hashtag this guy's name, Ahmaud Arbery, was attacked and shot by multiple white men with no arrests were made until 3 months later, only after national attention, petitions, and marches. Whenever a kid gets fucking killed and the cops try to do their fucking job, whether they catch the guy within a month, a day, or who knows, a fucking week, they have no control of when they fucking get caught. Because we live in this fucking world. Elliot knows this, Junior knows this. Let's see in our fucking neighborhood, some guy fucking kill a kid. The cops do what they can. They show up after a kid's been fucking killed. They ask questions. They walk the beat. Hey guys, help us out. Tell us evidence. Did anybody see anything? Nobody's seen shit. Well, how can you expect us to catch the person if nobody fucking seen anything? You know?
It's true.
And like, even our friend Renee. Renee was fucking killed by a guy. Mm-hmm. Took them, 4 months to find him?
Yeah.
You know? And this is what, they took 4 months to find. This man ran over an innocent woman and killed this fucking woman and kept going. Took them
got 2 to 6
But the point is,
years.
it took them 4 months. The cops aren't fucking telepaths. They don't have magical fucking powers. They can't catch it. They can't guarantee when they catch a person. So... Anyway, but he says, but of course he says,
I'm just waiting.
But he says, demand justice for Breonna Taylor, a black woman EMT. On this podcast, Junior brought her up.
Yep.
We talked about fucking Breonna Taylor. Again, I'm not sure how this 5-year-old being fucking brutally murdered has anything to fucking do with Breonna Taylor. If my son tomorrow gets fucking shot and killed, I have no idea how that affects anybody across the fucking globe or the fucking state, whatever. As a parent, no offense, I don't give a fuck about the stats or who else was fucking killed. But he says, of course, Breonna Taylor was killed in her sleep, and she was not committed a crime. Whose killers have not even been arrested 5 months later. Her petition has 10 million signatures and still demands for justice. Demand that. Breonna Taylor was proven to killed by cops. Yeah. Okay, cops killed her. The cops are in the fucking wrong. We still feel like the cops should be fucking fired. Yeah, they should be, put in jail for this shit.
There's no denying there should be
the cops killing Breonna Taylor in her friggin' house has nothing to fucking do with this 25-year-old scumbag killing a fucking kid. This guy walked up to a fucking kid, put a gun to his head, and blew his goddamn fucking brains out. That has nothing to fucking do with cops killing Breonna Taylor. Nothing. It's truly comparing apples and fucking oranges. And so I even fucking put down to Jamie, and I didn't tag the guy, but I said, what's funny is I decided to make a Twitter account to laugh. The comments you replied, I've already seen copy and pasted multiple times. So I'm like, Jesus, at least try to be original. I was like, they feel the need to repost names like Breonna Taylor. Okay, fair enough. She was killed innocently by police. So wasn't Tony Timpa and Ryan Whitaker. I only know these names because we talked about this shit in the podcast, and I've seen this through different social media accounts. Breonna Taylor was innocently killed. I'm not debating that. Junior mentioned this up. She was fucking killed. Her police officers that killed her should spend fucking life in prison. Mm-hmm. So shouldn't Tony Timpa's cop killers? Shouldn't fucking Ryan Whitaker's?
Yep.
I was like, what's funny is how when they were brutally murdered, no national media outlets covered it and protests broke out, huh? And that's all I fucking said. And
no one started petitions for them.
If Al was here, Al has said multiple fucking times the fact that we are doomed as a fucking species.
Yeah.
The fact that in social media right now in 2020, my kid was fucking killed. I'm not getting sorry your kid was killed. My condolences. I'm sorry this fucking happened. It's like, well, your kid was killed, but these other kids, XXX, were killed. This is not a dick measuring contest. It's not a fucking pissing contest. It's not a one-up contest. Tell any fucking parent that their kid was killed. Well, your kid was killed. I'm not going to say sorry. I'm not going to say I feel sympathy for you. It's like your kid was killed, but fuck you, okay? Simple as that. This kid's parents don't want to hear, but they don't want to fucking hear the stats of other fucking kids. It's like, the fact that we're at this point now in 2020 where my kid gets fucking killed and says, instead of telling me, I'm sorry your kid fucking died, well, Chris, your kid died. However, the kid 10 blocks down the fucking streets, it's not a matter of that. It's like, kids are dying.
Anything said before the word but is just pure bullshit.
I agree 100% with what you're saying. 1,000% with what you're saying. I wholeheartely agree with it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of details and some tidbits to it that you're missing here. The reason why when people started standing up and saying they wanted justice for this kid. The reason why that they were doing that in the first place is because it got no media attention.
Yeah.
That's the reason they started saying justice for that little boy in the first place. It got no attention at all whatsoever. It wasn't talked about because right now everybody is focused on Black Lives Matter. Everybody's focused on Black Lives Matter. Everybody's focused on Breonna Taylor.
It did get some media attention. Some.
It was on. It got just as much media time as LeBron James opening up an I Promise school. It got just as much media time. About 3 minutes.
There was articles.
There was articles, but that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like it was something that demanded days and weeks of attention.
This point making, Junior, real quick, is that this woman, I seen this recommend on Twitter. This woman made a point. She said, Bubba Wallace for NASCAR. It's like he had a noose in his garage, which wasn't a noose, it was a rope. wasn't racial, which wasn't. The FBI did an investigation, but the media spent the media, not people, but the media itself, spent 3 weeks talking about this supposed racial divide, which wasn't even fucking there. But she goes, none of these same media outlets wouldn't talk about this kid getting killed. Nope. And that's all she said. She goes, I just find it funny where it's like the media, how, again, this isn't people, it's how the media loves the fucking controversy and racial divide. She goes, you spent 3 weeks talking about a NASCAR driver having a noose in his fucking garage had nothing to do with fucking racism. You spent weeks on that shit. But this kid got fucking killed, and it happens. I
already said this before. The media is cancer. The media is the reason why.
All they love is dirty laundry.
That's it.
And I've said this before.
That's it.
Some people have talked about this, and you have to be careful how you word this and say this, is that I'm not justifying any fucking kid. And Jamie, the next fucking day, showed, actually, I'll fucking pull it up right now, showed a little black girl who got fucking killed. Yeah, but whilst Jamie's comments even she made, which is 100%, Jamie is like, I never get political and never serious on Facebook. I like to laugh. Politics and religion are way too serious for people. Every once in a while, things disturb me, like a child being murdered. And I share it because it makes me sad, and hopefully that child will get some extra prayers. The point Jamie was like, there's nothing political. I'm just saying that, listen, I
feel sorry for this poor kid that was murdered.
This kid was dead. You have my condolences. Rest in peace. That's all it fucking is. How in a society now we live in where I literally say, Junior, I'm sorry your fucking kid got killed. Well, now it's political. How the fuck is it political? A kid died. Rest in peace. That's all I'm fucking saying. But like,
they're called NPCs. So people who are literally just there to be programmed.
Look, next fucking day, Jamie puts down, rest in peace, Angel. Rest in peace, Joette Jojo Malone. Okay, Jojo Malone was fucking killed, right? Nobody commented about that. Nobody said, where's the political agenda? Nobody said, it kills people where it's like, you post a fucking picture of white kid fucking getting killed. Oh, you guys are fucking political. You're doing fucking racial divide, blah, blah, blah.
How?
But then a black kid fucking gets freaking killed. Oh, rest in peace, that's it. It's like that right there is the definition of fucking racism. It doesn't matter the fucking skin color of a freaking kid. Any kid being fucking shot and brutally fucking killed
is too much.
They're killing fucking babies.
But the point was that
literally,
and people, I'm reading the comment section like, well, the guy who killed the fucking kid, the little white kid, was fucking. He was caught. He's tried. Well, he's caught. He's gonna be charged. Okay, black fucking dude, 25 years old, killed a fucking white kid. Okay, that was it. It's over and done with. However. And people point this out, and I'm going to tend to agree with this shit. Not saying people, but the media. Let a fucking white dude, 25-year-old white guy, go fucking kill a 5-year-old black kid.
Oh, so fun.
Every 60 fucking seconds, watch your phone fucking explode.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the fucking point I see. And even Al said this shit at Carlton's house, is that the media paints this massive racial divide that isn't fucking there. Because they've even fucking proven it.
And it's only one-sided because of the fact that it's one-sided because they know that certain people are going to respond belligerently to it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like what Elliot said that I really want everybody to hear yet again is that people are literally like NPCs. And it's 100% true that they are literally there to fuel the agenda of racial divide. Yeah. They're there specifically for that because there's no other reason for you to post a comment on somebody's Facebook that all he said was rest in peace. Yeah. They didn't say justice for that person. They didn't say death to the killer. They didn't say any of that. All she said was rest in peace. Yeah. And that person decided to put, oh, everybody is screaming justice for this. Like, she didn't even scream that. All she said was rest in peace. So what that tells me is two things.
They're racist.
One, they're racist,
Yeah.
100%.
You brought up color when color had nothing to do
Color
with it.
had
You're
nothing to do with
racist.
it.
The first fucking thing you said was, "All my white friends."
Yeah.
You're racist.
First to my
You're
sister,
racist.
Jamie, like me, Jamie is not white. She's half white, half Mohawk fucking Indian.
Yeah.
So right there, go fuck yourself. But again, because she put rest in peace to this kid, who, okay, the kid happened to be fucking white. No doubt. Okay, he happened to be fucking white. Is it any different if the kid was black? But yeah, off the bat, your first thing you fucking said was, well, all my white friends.
Yeah, you're automatically racist. So
You're
one,
racist.
you're automatically racist, and two, you're ignorant as fuck. Like, not only are you so ignorant, like I can't have a conversation with you, but you're racist.
Yeah.
And the thing that kills me in this generation, more than anything, in this generation, especially with the media, is that they paint racist to be. They don't paint racist to be racist. They paint racist to be activists. And that is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bigger problem than what you see on social media. That's a bigger problem than some asshole commenting something like that. Because you can easily delete his comment and be done with him and say, hey, you're just a fucking idiot. And you're just getting blocked and your comment deleted.
Which is, well, she didn't delete his comment, but she wanted to block and got removed now, which
Yeah.
she should have.
But here's my thing though. Is what people don't see is there are people who are legitimately racist out here portraying themselves as activists.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
On
And
all sides.
and yes, and it's just like if they're telling you that you have to pick a side, you're racist.
Yeah.
If you're telling somebody you have to pick a side, if you cannot play devil's advocate, because that's the idea of being neutral.
Oh,
That's
I play devil's advocate.
I'm devil's
like
advocate
a
all day. I'm always
motherfucker.
going to sit there and say, you know what I mean? Even any situation that's going on, in any situation, right? With the exception of obvious murders, like if you can clearly see that the person was murdered and you can clearly see in a video that person had no, like there is definitive proof that I should not be taking that there is no, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, that person was innocent and didn't deserve to get killed. I will 100% take his side, no questions asked, that there should be justice for that person, like the black jogger.
Well,
that you automatically write that in there. That man fought for his life because he didn't know what was going on, because all he was doing was going out for a jog, regardless of anything else that was going on prior in his life. You know what kills me more than anything? This is what kills me about America more than anything, is the automatic devaluing of somebody's life. When something happens that deals with the cops, that's the reason why the media doesn't say anything to somebody murdered by the cops.
Yeah.
Or they'll say something and then they just expect a divide, because the divide happens because they know that the majority of America is automatically devaluing somebody's life automatically once they're a criminal. Because what is the first thing that anybody asks every single time they're killed by the cops? What is the criminal record? Every single time. It doesn't even matter whether that person was 100% innocent. Like that guy that was in his apartment that got executed in his apartment.
Yeah.
What was his criminal record? It doesn't fucking matter what his criminal record was. He was executed in his own home while he was not doing anything wrong. He was executed in his own home. The reason why the media is not going to show anything about these things is because of the fact that when cops are definitely wrong and they're definitely doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, and there's zero controversy with it, it's point A to point B, it's not going to be shown on media. That's what the situation with that 5-year-old kid that got killed. It just went from point A to point B. Yeah. This person is a piece of shit. He did the killing. Less than 24 hours later, he's caught. He's probably going to serve a life sentence in prison. Exactly. That's point A to point B. And because it went from point A to point B, it just disappeared. Like what happened when Ryan Whitaker got killed by the police, right? That went from point A to point B. He came outside with a gun. He dropped it. Cops still executed him. Yep. It went from point A to point B. They're under investigation. They're sweeping it under the rug. Yeah. The only thing that they're talking about is what they know is going to bring controversy. And what is going to bring controversy is when a white person threatens the life of a black person. Because they know that belligerence, they know violence, they know rioting, they know looting, they know destruction is going to come from news like this. They know this. So that's going to hit national attention for the next 2 weeks. That's going to be on media stations for the next 2 weeks. That is what's going to be there. Yeah. Is the fact that this guy was shot 7 times by police officers and now he is paralyzed for the rest of his life. He is now paralyzed for the rest of his life, which pretty much you murdered him. You murdered him, and you know it's what's going to happen from there? You know what I mean?
Not to mention too, like on a side note, piggyback off that, like, well, this was fucked up. This was a situation where this guy was innocently fucking gunned down. He was shot 7 times, and I agree that he was shot excessively. He was shot 7 times. But watch, this will get 200 million views on YouTube. But then with Ryan Whitaker, he was innocently shot down. He was killed. He was executed. Okay, that gets like what, a couple 100,000 views?
He got executed.
Now I'm like, but now what is the difference?
There is no difference.
The only difference I see is one thing: the outside, the color of their fucking skin. Because said you can take one person who complies with the fucking cops, gets pulled over, does what he has to do. Cops kill the guy. It's a tragedy all across the fucking board. Well, said if guy A gets fucking killed, it's like 20 million fucking views. Guy B gets killed, well, we get 100,000 views. What was the difference? The exact same fucking circumstance, but then said the media covers one guy, not the other guy.
Because
that right there makes a racial divide in itself, because it's telling the family members of people that are not black, and it could be white, it could be Asian, it could be Hispanic, it could be Native American, it could be whatever. That your kid, your son, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, their lives don't mean fucking dick, because I can pull up fucking videos that guys that were killed the exact same fucking way as George Floyd was killed. Yet George Floyd has 200 fucking million views, yet other guys have fucking said a couple 100,000, even though they were killed in the exact same way. You know what I mean? Like,
here's
not the exact same.
Very similar.
I'm gonna throw this out there. There is a thing that's out there that has been a thing in this country for a long time. Since the end of segregation, and since equality has been a thing since 1968. Since 1968 through 2020, there has been a thing that a lot of people aren't talking about. And one of the major things that they're talking about that a lot of people aren't even looking at is the fact that, do you honestly believe that generations of police officers are still not going to harass black people? The thing is that there is a study that was going on that black people are 2.5 times more likely to get harassed by police officers for any reason at all whatsoever, whether it's a traffic stop, whether it's getting stopped out on the street. And I'm personally a person that's actually been harassed by police officers on numerous occasions just walking down the street. I can name exactly 7 times over the past 2 years that I have literally been stopped because I, quote, fit the description. So there was a thing that was on Facebook that said, well, we don't think that all police cops are bad, but hey, you fit the description of someone who you're going to harass a black person. You're going to harass anybody that's walking down the street for what reason at all whatsoever. Because all these studies have been done, because all the research that's there, that is what sparks the outrage. It's because of the fact that when a police officer stops a black person, they got their hand on a holster ready to shoot them. That's the difference. When a cop is stopping a white person, they're not going to put their hands on a holster. They're going to put their hands on the person's window and say, "Oh, hey, let me see your license or registration." Yeah. Like they did, like when me and Al were pulled over coming back.
I was going to get to that later, but
when me and Al got pulled over coming back from New Hampshire. Yep. I mean, he didn't have his hand on a holster, and I noticed because I was looking at him the entire time. He stood perpendicular to the window. You can see everything he was doing. He had one hand like around his chest area and the other one on his flashlight so he can like stabilize his body cam. Yep. So he was seeing what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Inside the car. So he didn't have any intention of being violent with us at all whatsoever. We were driving. It was late. He wanted to know where we came from. We were cooperative. He let us go. No ticket, no nothing. Did 15 miles over the speed limit. That's an easy $300 ticket from a state trooper. Yeah. He said, "Hey, slow down. You're going into Troy. Slow down." And that's it. He let us go. That's why I know I'm going to get hated for saying this, but I'm still going to say this, and I don't care. These incidences that are happening with cops right now are isolated incidences that are being blown up out of proportion to the point that it's sickening. And like with the guy that got paralyzed, it's a sad thing. It's sad. But what led to what happened after that though? More rioting, more destruction, more destroying the neighborhoods, more this, more that.
I'm gonna pull up later. I've used your and Al's incident, which happened a couple of days back. It not as like a scapegoat, but in Facebook posts, I've used that as that'll be later.
Yeah, I was like, you're not getting justice this way. Justice is not happening from you destroying your towns. That's not what's happening.
Before we fucking move on, so the incident said Jamie shared this instance was middle of broad daylight. There was multiple fucking witnesses. Guy walked up to a fucking kid, blew his brains out and shit. Next day, Jamie said Jamie shares another thing. Toddler, she was 2-year-old girl, Hammond girl. Now the FBI stepped in. The feds, they offered a $10,000 reward. Here's the difference though. She was a 2-year-old girl. She was died after being caught in the crossfire of an apartment complex in July. Now again, the cops show up to this neighborhood. Hey guys, who killed this white kid? Everybody in the fucking neighborhood is cooperating, telling the cops what they saw. Next day they catch the fucking guy. An apartment complex. How many people actually cooperating with the cops?
One if you're lucky.
Now the girl's mother, 2 girls' mother, she said she joined the police, members of the FBI, and the Lake County Prosecutor's Office as they called onto the public to share any information that could help detectives. And we know these kind of neighborhoods here too. They're asking everybody. We're offering a $10,000 reward for anybody who's seen anything. All you hear is fucking crickets. So that could be a factor as fucking well. Says, here's her mother. 2-year-old fucking baby girl was shot and fucking killed. I do not sleep at night. I barely eat, says her mother. I really wish I had my baby back. I cannot have her back, so I really wish that someone could help me bring her justice. And okay.
Then they start burning down buildings and demanding justice.
She was killed at 9:30 p.m. The other kid, the 5-year-old, was killed in the middle of like broad daylight. So a lot more witnesses will see somebody at 2 p.m. versus 9:30 p.m. Also, this was out in the middle of the open as he was on the front lawn. The 2-year-old was killed in a fucking apartment complex. 2 different situations right there. You can't compare the 2 situations, but of course people do. But it was really fast shots, like pow, 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 pow. She said, I believe he let off an entire clip. I didn't know what would make him do that because my car was running, the windows were down, the kids were playing loud. You can hear the kids. Why would you do that? So the daughter was killed in the freaking back seat. No one is in custody as Hammond police and the FBI continue to investigate. You have the cops and the FBI trying to find this son of a bitch that killed this fucking 2-year-old. They can't find him because again, nobody fucking sees anything. So it's like when people compare the 2 situations, you can't compare the 2 situations because it's 2 different incidents. You know, when okay, like right now in Albany, okay, right now on Elk Street and Clinton Avenue, and somebody gets fucking shot, nobody's saying goddamn thing. Go out to New Scotland Avenue, go out to fucking Sand Creek Road, go out to Upper Colony. Carlton's house, for example. We've all been there, except for Susan and Al. We've all seen Carlton's neighborhood. If somebody fucking gets shot, the entire goddamn neighborhood is coming together and going to find this son of a bitch.
You don't want
That's
that
the fucking
in your
difference. But they want to fucking blame cops. It's like, well, the cops aren't doing their fucking jobs. The cops aren't telepaths. These guys, this is a Minority Report. They can't predict the future or go into the fucking past. They show up after an incident has happened. They ask questions. I don't see shit. Well, then we can't fucking help you guys, man. If no one, they're offering the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI is not racist or fucking biased. They're as diverse as they come. The feds have offered a $10,000 reward, and still nobody's seen shit. And this happens every fucking time.
But people are still demanding justice.
Exactly. But still the fucking point is that this is where we're at in 2020, which I'm like, you know what? I can see why people don't want to have social media accounts, don't want to get on social media, don't even want to fucking talk anymore, because nowadays we're literally at the point now in our fucking society where it's like, hey, again, my kid was fucking killed. Oh, Chris, well, you know, your kid got killed, but it could have been worse. How could it have been worse?
You're a white conservative, Chris, so
I can say this, and I'll say this on the fucking podcast. I've been saying this for years. You know, I hope that one day Junior has kids. I hope that Al has kids. Hope that fucking Susan has kids. Don't
do that.
I hope all you guys have fucking kids. But it's just like, it's not going to be like, we know, well, what's it like?
There's too many variants to it. It could end badly in many ways, trust me.
I'm not sure how one of us.
Yeah.
Anybody who has kids.
Well, the point is, I'm hoping that fucking people have freaking kids, but it's a point that like it's not going to be like, you know, well, Susan's fucking my nephew got fucking killed, and the first thing Susan's going to want to hear is, well, Sue, your kid got killed, but you know, it's just like it's
the conversation just ends right there.
Yeah.
The conversation ends right there.
I'm throat punching you.
But that's my fucking point. So like I said, if Al ever is a fucking dad, if Junior is a dad one day, I'm gonna do everything in my freaking power to be Uncle Chris. And it's not gonna be like, well, you know, if a guy walks up to this kid, pulls a gun to his head, and Junior's like, Chris, well, did you stop the guy? Well, Junior, sorry, you know, a guy pulled a gun to your kid's head. Because he's fucking black, though, I couldn't stop the fucking bullet. No. The second a fucking guy pulls a freaking gun to Junior's fucking kid's head, I'm doing everything in my fucking power to beat the motherfucker to death. As simple as that. This whole narrative of racial divide, the fact that we're living in this society now, too, where, like, your kid got killed, but there's no but.
There's no but to that.
Yeah.
There's
and
no
just
but
like
to
that.
that.
And that's it. Okay, call me fucking weird. That to me is my fucking weak point and my and my goddamn breaking point.
You're
It's
not,
like,
you are not
Speaking
weird
of
for that.
butt,
What?
you gave Elliot Jr. seat, you gave Junior my seat, and now my butt is killing me.
boy.
Welcome to the jungle.
Anyway.
Fucking Elliot.
That shit got weird.
I
no,
feel
it's
like I
just
need
like-
to drink more now.
Go ahead.
And I recently just said, just like, you know, people on fucking Twitter, it's like I said, parents, any freaking parent does want to hear about, it's hard to fucking hear, well, the cops is brown. It does, as a fucking parent, like I said, this happened. If Al was here, said me and Al were kind of friendly, but we became bigger friends once Mary died. And once Mary died, anybody fucking knows anybody here, and Elliot not so much because we weren't around that much. But when Mary died, I went to work. So listen, guys, I'm not asking for time off. I'm not requesting time off. I'm telling you, I'm taking a week off of fucking work. I need a week off to work to mourn my future fucking wife who just freaking died. I went into a deep, dark fucking place. Didn't want to talk to nobody. The first thing Al said to me, it was just me and Al working there. He goes, Chris, what the fuck you doing here? I was like, unfortunately, Al, because child support, my scumbag kid's mother, I need to work at least one day this week to at least even out the child support. And Al gave me his credit card to do whatever you fucking need, man. It's on me. I said, man, thanks fucking million. Me and Al got very close after that. But during that initial fucking 4 or 5 days when Mary died, if anybody would have said to me, Chris, well, you know, your girlfriend died, but, you know, I would have probably fucking beat them to goddamn fucking death. As a parent, it doesn't matter what the skin color of your kid is. You know, your kid dies. All you want to hear is constant condolences and we're sorry. You don't want to hear like, you know, I'm sorry, Junior. I know your son was shot, but you know, compared to that white kid down the street, though, it's what kind of a human?
Since when did crime become a dick measuring contest?
It is. And the funny part, I seen this on fucking Twitter, and it was a joke, but not a joke. They showed a fucking cartoon picture. They showed a freaking guy with the gun holding to a kid's head, and it was a white kid, and he goes, "Sorry, sorry. When you're killed, no one's gonna fucking remember your name." And it was like, it was dark, but kind of like
It's true.
you see shit like that. And I've said fuck before. I don't care if it's like I said, if Junior calls me and says, Chris, my son or daughter just got fucking shot, within half a fucking second, watch how fast I'm over to his fucking place and finding out who did this to his fucking kid. I don't care if the perpetrator is what color the skin color of this guy is who shot Junior's kid or Al's kid or your kid, Sue, anybody's. Watch how fast I'm doing everything in my fucking power to find this son of a bitch. And I've said before, if you hurt a kid of anybody I know, friend, family, or otherwise, you hurt their fucking child, you better pray to whatever God you believe in that the cops get you before I do. Because if the cops get you, the cops are just going to fucking arrest you. I'm going to do shit that you're going to read about in the fucking 6 o'clock news, where it's like, holy shit. So trust me, you're not living, number one, and it's not going to be fucking quick and fucking painless. No, it's going to be slow and fucking methodical.
Hit off one ball first, the next one.
No.
then
Because it
the
said-
next.
No, that's too much
Rip
pain
off the
because of the
nipples.
nerve
Rip
endings.
off one nipple first, next nipple, start with their fingernails,
It's just,
then their toenails, then a toe, another toe. a
Exactly.
nipple.
I said I had to fucking make sure I got enough alcohol in me to fucking elaborate that.
Grab,
just
like
like
the
said,
finest knife you
it just
have
said the
and
fact
then
that
start, like,
just nowadays
skinning
we're at the
them.
fucking point so where my sister posts down, hey, rest in peace, little baby who got fucking killed. Well, you know, because of white people, shut the fuck up, man. It's like these parents, you piece.
You know, because
Ugh.
Orange Man bad and you sound like a conservative, that kid might have been a KKK member.
He was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the excuse you hear from. I call people NPCs because you hear the same words come out of their mouth and I just laugh.
Just saw him pass.
So on a similar freaking note, I'm just gonna mention this right now before we move on to some other shit. So
Something funny and
no, so
slightly
you know, said,
offensive.
I'm a fan, said, and Junior's seen this post, and I'm sure Elliot has too, and even Susan's. I'm a fan of Michael Rappaport. Rappaport, for most part, does comedy stuff. He stays out of politics. He's not a fan of Trump, and that's his prerogative. I have no problem with that shit, you know? It's like, that's Michael's standpoint. But this has actually came out, too, this from like about 4 or 5 days ago. The George Floyd stuff, there was different body cam footage. Now the official, true, actually 10-minute entire body cam footage came out of like how he friggin' died. And Rappaport just put down that, like, you want to see a murder? This is a disgusting murder. Watch it again and watch and share that how George Floyd was murdered. He was murdered. I'm not going to debate that. The guy was fucking murdered. We've all seen this fucking podcast. I'm glad the 4 assholes who killed him are fucking in prison, and getting their pens taken away. Everything's happened to them. I feel zero sympathy. The only thing I commented on was this guy said, of course, a white man. Every time I read that, I want to fucking go nuclear. But he says, a white man can resist and threaten an officer all they want and still don't get shot. And why did he resist? He had his reason to resist because these officers were clearly using their power over him instead of talking to him. Off the bat, I said, we're in Albany, New York. I'm not sure what city, what town you live in. I can say this wholeheartedly. If me and Junior walk up to a cop in Albany and say, hey, officer, do me a favor, what? Go fuck yourself. It's not going to be like, well, say, well, you know, Chris, we understand where you're coming from. Then you beat the fuck out of Junior. I can tell you fucking right now, me being a different color than Junior does not make me bulletproof or immune to getting the shit kicked out of me.
Exactly.
If I walk up to at least in Albany, any Albany cops, officer, do me a favor, what's that? Go fuck yourself. Watch how fast I'm on the fucking ground getting the shit stomped out of me. I can tell you fucking first fucking.
I
What
promise
was the
I'll record
story
that.
Jamie
Thank
was
you.
telling us that happened to Brian? He was working for like an asphalt company.
Well, I'll get in a second. So the only thing I commented, I said, yeah, and this is me commenting, and when put on my Facebook, I said, yes, except that I can pull up videos of cops killing innocent white people just the same. Perhaps it could be a cop issue and not just a color issue. They said the point I was trying to make is that I don't
They
think.
get offended when you say that.
Well, it gets deeper than that. So some woman said, Chris, please enlighten us with your videos. Okay, I couldn't tell if she was being serious or being sarcastic. I said, no problem. I was like, again, Junior's mentioned this a couple minutes ago. Ryan Whitaker was a man shot and killed a few months ago, literally from his home playing PlayStation. Funny how it never made national fucking news. Here's a YouTube video. So when this guy first
There was a
says,
YouTube video
there's a YouTube video
before him being on the news.
Yeah. So when this guy says a white person can resist and threaten an officer all they want and still don't get shot. Funny, okay? This guy was a fucking white dude. Cops shot the fuck out of him and killed this fucking guy in front of his girlfriend while she's crying, while he's on the ground moaning and groaning. But like the narrative, oh well, white people can do whatever the fuck they want to cops and not give any repercussions. Really? Let me pull up fucking YouTube right now, pal. Yes, I'm not debating that. Sometimes the shit does happen. Some white people are fucking assholes, but like you make it act like Junior said, this is the fucking norm. Because for every fucking 5 black guys that get fucking shot by the cops, I can pull up videos of 5 white guys getting shot just as fucking the same as by fucking cops.
Every person who's crying racism, first off, 2/3 of the time they are racist themselves.
Exactly.
Second, they've never heard the term there's good and bad in every race.
So, because on this podcast, we mentioned with Junior, Elliot, and even Al, I mentioned Tony Timpa. I've only heard Tony Timpa's name because it was brought to my attention through Tony Timpa again. This was on YouTube. It was a guy fucking about a year ago. He called the cops. He actually called the cops, said, I'm off my meds. I'm not feeling good.
Okay, that guy.
Yeah, but the point is, the cops showed up. Now, they said that, George Floyd was a tragedy, was a fucking tragedy. I said, but Tony Timpa was a guy who called the police for help.
Yep.
They showed up, they handcuffed this guy, put their fucking knees into his fucking back and spine for 13 fucking minutes and killed him as he's crying and moaning.
Did you see the EMT's response? He was
exactly.
fucking pissed.
So
he ripped off his gloves. He's like, he's dead. Are you serious? Yeah, he's dead. You killed him. Fucking dude ripped off his gloves and just threw it.
So
I don't know if he was aiming at one of the cops or not. The dude was pissed.
Or is that George Floyd?
No, the Tony Timpa.
Oh.
So, and the funny part, so I mentioned this guy, I was like, so which video? I'm like, Tony Timpa, who was crying and begging for his life while cops laughed and mocked him as he was pinned down and died. The paramedics were very pissed off, telling the officers he was dead when they arrived. So how is there no comparison? George Floyd and Tony Timpa were 2 people, both of them were handcuffed and pinned to the fucking ground that didn't deserve to die, that were fucking crying and begging for their fucking life. Yep. Both men had fucking cops kneeling on their fucking necks and their fucking backs that shouldn't have been freaking killed. The point is, it was 2 separate incidents where 2 men were brutally fucking murdered. But the thing is, again, Tony Timpa, ask any person, who's Tony Timpa? And they're like, who? Yeah. Well, I was like, so I put down, by all means, enlighten me how it's racist to point out cops kill innocent people regardless of their skin color. I was the only reason I see is people like you who cry outrage when it happens to one type of people. And of course, the fact is that we're in this worst instance where this guy puts on LOL. LOL, well, that was different. How was it different? LOL, so you're laughing the fact that this guy was killed by the fucking cops. How would I seem? How would I fucking be made to be out if I put down like, well, LOL, George Floyd fucking died, but he could have, he resisted arrest, or he could have been a different way, I'd be a total racist fucking scumbag if I put down LOL, George Floyd was killed. But Tony Timpa was fucking killed almost the exact same fucking way. We put down LOL, well, that was different. How was it different? And he said, well, Tony Timpa was resisting arrest. No, he wasn't.
He was autistic, wasn't he?
Yes, and he was off his med pleading for
now,
help.
George Floyd, I watched the entire fucking video. The cops told him multiple fucking times, get into the fucking back of the car. He didn't want to get into the back car. He said, officers, put me on the fucking ground. Again, not justifying how he fucking died.
Dude
but
was freaking the
he
fuck
was high on
out.
fucking fentanyl. And again, not justifying how he fucking died. But the point was this guy was like, well, George Floyd wasn't resisting arrest. Tony Temple was resisting arrest. No, he fucking wasn't. That's
Tony
the fucking
Tippa was
point.
autistic and couldn't help himself.
So it's just it's people like fucking that. So
Yeah, like I said, it's
That's why I'm just numb to it all.
yeah. Elliot, I'm exactly right along with
so
you
this guy
about
says,
it.
well, it's people like you, period. There's plenty of videos where the white man's waving a knife, a gun, shooting at the cops resisting arrest, and just murdering someone. So there's videos of white people murdering people not getting arrested. Okay.
I would love to see these videos because I'm pretty sure they're fake.
So he goes, there's videos of cops, of white people fucking pointing their guns and knives at fucking cops. And he goes, it's strange how they don't take into custody. I said, okay, really then? Okay. So again, let me enlighten you, dude.
Have they never seen Cops or Live PD?
Well,
I've seen
Have you seen what happened in Patterson, New Jersey about the guy that got shot and killed by the cop? It was a white guy that got shot and killed.
Almost like you say, Junior. So I fucking pointed to this guy. I was like, surreal. So I was like, so you say that cops, the cops, let's see. He does this before he's on the ground and can't breathe. I was like, so let me show you Ryan Whitaker. He was killed a few months ago. Literally opened his door and was shot and killed. His girlfriend
under
says
10 seconds.
his girlfriend says
his
crying
door,
as he lays
dead.
dying on the ground. By all means, watch this video and laugh. Go ahead and laugh when an innocent man is gunned down and killed to fuel your racism. Oh, I forgot. Didn't all 4 cops who were involved with George Floyd get arrested and face charges? Funny how the 2 cops who killed Ryan Whitaker, they still have jobs. So it just fucking gets people like that, and I stopped talking to this fucking guy because he's obviously a racist fucking piece of shit. I get sick and fucking tired of saying, well, every single time, all fucking times, a white guy brandishes a weapon or pulls a fucking knife or gun on a cop, they don't fucking shoot or kill them. Really? Okay, here's YouTube, dude. The fact that I can pull up my fucking phone YouTube video, this guy, and Al was here when he said it, put his gun down, and you brutally murdered this motherfucker. Where was his right? Where was his white privilege?
He forgot to bring that card out with him. By the way, that's a joke, people. Calm the fuck down. There's no such thing.
I said this, it's a fact that yes, cops kill fucking black people. Yes, they fucking do. They also kill fucking white people. They also kill Hispanic people.
They kill more. They kill more white people every year than they do black
But
people.
do you want to know some
when you say that, though, they say, well, the
facts?
percentages aren't the fucking Well, I got into this fucking Twitter argument. I need to pull this shit up. This Twitter argument with this guy, Ryan Whitaker. He's like, why aren't you out there protesting Ryan Whitaker? I said, protesting how, bro? I was like, I live in Albany, fucking New York. I'm gonna show up in City Hall on my day off, fucking work with 4 or 5 people, and yell to the top of my lungs, hey guys, white people are getting killed by fucking cops. Let's put hashtag White Lives Fucking Matter. I'll be either labeled a fucking racist or be laughed at out of the streets and shit.
Yeah,
Of course you will.
I'm like, the fucking point, the narrative, the point I'm trying to make is that cops are killing people. Not only black people. They're killing people.
They're killing people.
There is children dying, not just white people, white children or black children. It's children.
Yep.
That's the point of the 4 of us in this fucking room right now, and Al and Jen and Carlton and fucking Karen.
We're all different.
We don't give a fuck though about the fucking kid. It's the narrative right now is that okay, white kid gets fucking killed. Okay, it happened. Move on. Black kid fucking gets killed. Let's get national fucking media coverage and just blow it out of fucking proportion.
I'm gonna burn down black-owned businesses
because a black kid was killed.
Because a black kid was killed.
Yep, that makes sense.
And I'm gonna blame it on Orange Man Bad.
If all you guys
and
want to talk
cops.
about fucking racial equality, then it should be all fucking kids are equal. It shouldn't matter about certain types of fucking kids. It's like I said, whenever I see a fucking kid get killed, the first thing in my mind is, in Chris, well, you know what? Well, what color is the fucking kid? Well, he's a black kid. Well, I feel kind of bad, but not as bad as if he was white. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, how much of a racist fucking scumbag would I be? I said to tell you, Junior, well, your kid died. It's kind of sad, but you know what? Not as bad as when Susan's kid died, because Susan's kid died. That's way worse than when your kid died. And that's the fucking narrative. It's like, it's
not the narrative. That's just what it's not.
Chris,
that's not what the narrative
if I had a kid,
is.
though, my kid would be half black.
Well,
Wouldn't it be a quarter if the dude's biracial?
Shut up.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said before, the narrative and what people are portraying to us isn't what the people is trying to portray to us.
What social? It's media.
It's media of what they're trying to portray. It's their narrative. It's not the narrative of a few assholes on Facebook. It's not the narrative because a few people. See, this is what I mean. The loud minority. Don't let the loud minority cloud your judgment on this, because there is a lot of people that put themselves out there to be bigoted assholes about this situation. That does not mean that we have the narrative about it, because 98% of America, we are all pissed off about kids dying, no matter what color of their skin there is. That's 98% of America.
Yep.
There's 1.5% to 2% of America that are just total fucking assholes, that are racist. And a lot of those people that are racist are trying to make it seem like they're not, when they really are.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what does it come down to? If we say, oh, yeah, but it was just like, oh, justice for George Floyd, this, that, and the third, and then, oh, next thing you know, this kid dies, and it's just like, well, still arrest the cops for Breonna Taylor, but what about this kid? Well, justice was already done for him, it doesn't really matter. I'm like,
Yeah, tell his parents it doesn't matter.
So I'm like, so it doesn't matter that this kid died, so it doesn't matter that these kids are dying out here in the streets.
Little baby
Was killed.
2-year-old.
But it doesn't matter
baby.
because Breonna Taylor wasn't still arrested. That's racist. If you sit there and say that this 5-year-old white kid died, but it doesn't matter because the cops who killed Breonna Taylor weren't arrested, it makes you racist. Bottom line, because you need to have the same every single life. You need to have the same concern for every life. If you don't have the same,
that shows they have no compassion.
if you don't, no, it just shows that they're bigoted. Yeah. It shows that they're assholes. It shows that they're racist, and it shows that they support the agenda of the media that they want racial divide. Yeah, because that's all it says.
My point is, like I said, it's like we can't dwell on this forever, but like it's the point that social media, everyone has a right to be a social media fucking asshole. But like I said, if Junior becomes a dad one day, or Susan becomes a mom, or Al becomes a fucking dad, I can tell you as myself, said if something happened to fucking Christian within the fucking first week or first fucking month, if I and I wouldn't post this, it would have to be Junior or Susan or fucking anybody, hey, Chris's freaking kid died, because I wouldn't post it myself. I wouldn't post myself saying, because the first second I read, Jamie's like, hey, my nephew just died, and someone in Jamie's Facebook say, hey, well, I'm sorry your nephew died, but, and that's when I find your fucking name, I find out where you live, and I'm probably gonna fucking beat you to fucking death in your own fucking house and shit. Same thing as fucking Junior. If Junior has a freaking kid and becomes like, I'm Uncle Chris or something, and someone says, oh, Will, your kid got freaking killed, it's like, it's a tragedy, but the second I find out someone says, but your kid died, but it could have been, then again, I find you and I'm going to beat you to fucking death. Because at that point,
if that life doesn't matter, then your life doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, at that point, it doesn't come down to, it's like, Junior, Chris's kid dies, Junior's fucking kid dies, but it's like, Junior's kids now is more important than Chris's fucking kid. No, they're both equal. It's like kids are being fucking killed. It doesn't matter the goddamn color of their fucking skin.
It really doesn't.
That's all. All that matters is a child is fucking dead.
These kids are dying at an astonishing rate.
Well, I showed you, Rapport talked about this fucking, a month ago. He goes, hey guys, he mentioned the statues breaking down, that's already over and done with, but there's a point that, so Rapport isn't a Trump fan, but he calls him Dick Stain Donald Trump. But he made the point that Trump is saying that if you tear down a statue, you face up to 10 years of fucking prison, and you have all this energy and time and rage and compassion, tear down statues. But five kids were killed in one weekend. Yep. Why is nothing being done about that? I don't see a single fucking riot or protest or fucking Facebook page or blah, hashtag blah, blah. When kids are being murdered in their backseats of their fucking car, you guys have no energy at all to find the perpetrators. Because remember, you can't trust the fucking cops. You don't want cops. So, okay, when kids are getting fucking killed, if you can't trust the cops and rely on the fucking cops, then go ahead, take 10,000 fucking people and find the people who are killing these fucking babies.
Well, no, they do care about the cops when they attack somebody and then they get their asses handed to them, because there's videos of these people getting shot at and they're screaming, someone call the cops, because they broke into someone's house or tried to kill. I mean, like that white dude who was beaten almost nearly to death by Black Lives Matter security. Nobody gave a fuck about that dude, and they literally tried to kill him because you saw that Love dude just soccer kick him in the side of his head.
I've always said, and this will be social media, and this will be this podcast, and this will be everybody I know who knows me and defends me, is that said, if someone hurts my fucking kid, I don't care the color of your fucking skin.
That doesn't mean anything.
I'm going straight up Lucifer on someone.
Well, I'm saying, but the point you're trying to make is the narrative, though. The narrative, if a white guy fucking hurts my kid and I kill a son of a bitch, it's okay.
It's the media's narrative.
Saying, white guy killed a white guy, no problem. Yeah. If a black dude shoots my fucking kid and I retaliate, now I'm a racist.
Yeah.
Like I said, the point was this 25-year-old guy killed the fucking kid. That off the bat, all I want to hear is that 25-year-old man killed the kid. That's all I care about. But the narrative comes, well, black guy killed a white kid, over and done with, The narrative, though, how many TikToks?
Well, the narrative is your kid died, But Breonna Taylor's killer still
But
hasn't been arrested.
but listen,
That's the narrative.
But also, the media narrative is that, kid, guy killed the fucking kid, over and
That's
done
it.
with. But said, let a fucking white dude kill a fucking black kid. We'll watch the narrative on that shit.
Oh, that's more destruction in your city.
Yeah.
That's more.
It's like the bottom line is, kid got killed. That's all should fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
But the narrative, all that matters nowadays is like, well, your kid died, but what color was he?
Conflict and racial divide is the narrative.
So
that's just what it is. And the only way that that's going to change, is,
hand out guns to everybody and let them just shoot it out.
Here's the thing. No, me and Al actually talked about this before. To solve kids dying in these neighborhoods, to solve just the actual murders, because let's be honest here, the vast majority of the homicides now has been kids. Oh, yeah. Kids are dying significantly faster and more in numbers than adults.
Yeah.
It's kids. There was a group of kids aged 14 to 17. A group of kids that was caught in a stolen vehicle with 2 handguns. Kids. 17-year-old, 19-year-old, 21-year-old kids out here dying, getting shot and killed.
Well, I mean,
and then they're going to sit there and say, well, I mean, it's the cops' fault. How?
Yeah. Why don't they take this anger and fix up their communities? I know people are going to hate me for this. Like, everybody's bringing... You know what? I used to be such a Debbie Downer, and then I was just like, yeah, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
I said this to myself. I'm like, you know what? I can change some things myself. I can't constantly blame everyone else because I'm not a social person. I'm great with text. I can't word write in person. I'm better at texting. But it's like, you can complain. You don't have a life. You don't have friends. Are you putting any effort into it? Well, no. Then how can you complain that you have no life or you don't have any friends if you've done nothing to change that? I mean, yeah, there are a lot of terrible people out there, but that's terrible people. We've had terrible people since fucking caveman days.
Yeah.
We have terrible people around the world. People want to know truth. They want to know truth about racism and stuff. You can go to many other countries right now. I brought it up. Dubai, you can be a woman and get raped and thrown in jail because you had sex out of marriage. You're the woman who got raped, you're thrown in jail. There is racism and horrible shit going on in the rest of the world. You could be a different color, walk down a bad neighborhood, they'll gun you down, and 5 to 1, no one's going to hear about it.
No.
But we don't want to talk about that. You want to know why? Because people have so much freedom here, they can waste their entire lives whining about this. Not do anything. Yeah. We've seen it. Social media has literally destroyed lives. Yeah. Because people use it. I know someone's going to be like, but it's beneficial too. It's like 35% beneficial, 65% fucking toxic at this point. And it's some only days, getting worse.
Some days I agree with you.
You're doxing people because you don't agree with them. You're swatting people because you find out where they live from IP tracking them. They're like, oh, this guy's beating up a wife. He's threatening to murder children and kill himself. And you have fucking cops showing up. I mean, there's horror stories where YouTubers and stuff were literally shot on camera. Yeah. I don't know their names, but this is the world we live in. Where
I'm also saying Elliot last time
you're a monster.
About desensitizing. The fact is, my 13-year-old can pull up on his phone. He can pull up a YouTube video of a grown man, regardless of his skin color, a grown man being fucking executed by the cops. Is just and if you are raised like that, he's 13. By the time he's 20 years old. It's like, how desensitized is my son going to become? Because he's been seeing this shit since he was 10, 11, 12 years old.
No, remember the video? I believe this is one of the videos that really started. Like, I've been desensitized since I think around 14 years old. Because like I said, I've lived through the Oklahoma bombing and that fucked me up bad. I started hating people. And I've gotten to the point where you're like, oh, the world's ending. Good. Fucking good. We had our chance and we fucked up. But remember that soldier who was decapitated on camera and they fucking yeah. And I'm like, this is the world we live in. Yes. You can get sex at the touch of a screen And some of it probably shouldn't be out there. But if there's an audience for it, there's
I made
to
that joke,
be
Elliot.
this shit.
I made that fucking joke before, and I'll say it now because it's funny. But it's like, guys, we're at the point now where I can pull up my phone. I can pull up a fucking woman blowing a horse on my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like,
It's.
I mean, back even Junior, like, you're not too much younger than us, but like, I mean, in your lifetime, when do you think you could have a device that's like fucking 6 inches by 4 inches, and you could pull up videos of a fucking woman getting fucking drilled by a goat or something? You know, it's just like,
or watch people just get murdered live, or like watch the most disturbing shit ever.
Yeah.
And you have kids who are like 8 years old and have better phones than me, and I have like a Stylus 3. This phone cost me $200+. I've had this for 2 years. You have kids with $500+ phones because the parents are too stupid to want to raise a kid. It's like, here you go. And these kids end up with things like a fucking Twitch account, a Tinder account, and all that, and all this shit, and everybody's
access
like,
to social media.
On a side note, before we move on, because Al sent me this, I'll show you guys later. He showed me a TikTok video where this guy had me fucking laughing hard. Where this guy did a 45-second video where he goes, listen, he goes, you want me to donate to your OnlyFans account for $50 a month? He goes, okay, $50 a month. He goes, my Disney Plus costs $12 a month. He goes, you know what's on Disney Plus? The Avengers. He's like, you know what? The MCU. He's like, you're telling me that your pussy is better than Infinity War? He's like, you tell me that you sitting there and rubbing your fucking clit is better than Endgame? He goes, Netflix is $13 a month. You want me to donate $50 a month to your fucking OnlyFans account? And he goes, you've turned your fucking pussy into a streaming service.
It's been used so much, it's not even attractive anymore.
And he made the joke, but he said, like, you know, he's like, in terms of, it's like, we judge these streaming services, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, etc., based on the quality of their content. He goes, he's like, we got the Ozarks and Netflix, we got Lucifer, we got all these fuck shows on Hulu and shit. He's like, all your OnlyFans is you playing with yourself. So you expect me to fucking pay you $50 a month so I can watch you play with yourself all day? It's like, fuck OnlyFans.
I have one more good point that will destroy technology. Remember when it first came out, chat rooms and all that? And what was the number one rule? Never give out your real name, your location, all that, and never meet people online, right?
Yeah.
How many times was this shit drilled into our head by everybody? Like, oh, you're a fucking loser. But now, that's where they're saying over half the relationships start by you meeting some fucking stranger online, and they're like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, wait, I remember.
The narrative 20 years ago was not the same.
Yeah, I know, but here's the point. We're hypocrites. We're saying, Al brought this up too with certain topics. You know, we say something's bad now.
Yeah.
Like we could say, randomly walking down the street and just hitting some guy you don't like in the head with a brick is wrong. What if 20 years from now the purge is fucking real?
It's the way it's
and then
going.
It's like, hey,
me.
no. On the purge, I'm encouraged to walk down the street. I had an argument with this asshole over, he took my parking spot at work and you beat his skull in, and you're like, yeah, what happens when you go into work the next day? Oh, where's Paul? Well, you know, the purge happened. I caught him out on the street, and that motherfucker took my parking spot one too many times. How was your purge? Like, wait, there's no...
Not gonna lie, though. If I get drunk enough and Junior wants to purge inconvenient fat people, I may join him.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. If the purge actually started happening, I'm bunkering up somewhere. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna have a couple of guns. I'm gonna bunker up. The first person that come in through that door that I don't know, you're dead. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking out a lot of fucking people. So I'll tell you that.
Before we fucking move on to something kind of funny, but like, yeah, I want to just rant for an hour and just like the overall summary, like I said, is just like this is why people are using less social media for. This is also why that's the fact that in my lifetime, this is 2020, and guys, we know racism exists and. Call me pessimistic. Racism is not going anywhere.
It's never going to.
It's never going to. But it just said,
especially not in America. Like in America, it's probably going to be even worse.
It just said, you know, it's me being a dad, and even before me being a father, as a decent fucking human being. Like I said, anytime if Junior becomes a father, if Al does, if Elliot fucking does, it's never. I already am. It's well, I mean, if you start bringing your kid around here where we're hanging out and shit, you know.
That ain't gonna happen.
But the point I'm trying to freaking make is that any kid, I will walk out in front of a fucking bus to save any kid's life. I don't give a fuck. This kid is purple. if he's fucking Asian, what color he is. I'm not a fucking fan of brutally murdering fucking children. And the fact that 2020, you can hop on social media and make the murder of a fucking child a dick measuring contest. It's I have to be fucking drunk to talk about this shit, because if I'm sober, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. Like I said, that is just said. We all have. Some people have rape. Some people have racism shit. Me as a human being, my fucking line in the sand is children. Like, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The only thing stopping me from going back to fucking prison is the fact that that little boy is still alive and well. I've even said it before, and I can say it now, half fucking drunk. If something happens to my fucking kid, I don't feel bad for me. I don't feel bad for my fucking child. I feel bad for the person who hurts my fucking kid, because what I'm going to fucking do to you is going to be, it's going to be fucking biblical. It's going to be, they're going to write a documentary and what I fucking do to this individual, and call me a fucking racist, call me a fucking bigot. I don't give a fuck. Hurt my kid. I don't give a shit what your skin color is, what your sexual orientation is, what your fucking religion is. You hurt fucking Junior's kid or fucking Elliot's kid, I've been to fucking prison. I will have no problem going fucking back to do whatever I gotta do to Junior's fucking son, or Al's son, or Susan's fucking daughter. Hurt a fucking child in my fucking presence, or let me find out about that. And social media, paint me as being whatever the fuck you want to paint me as fucking being. Hurt a fucking child and I find you. Trust me. The cops fucking, and I said this before jokingly and not jokingly, hurt a fucking kid. The cops fucking kneeling on your neck is going to be the least of your fucking problems.
Well, I just want to say in the past 2 minutes he said fuck or fucking 25 times.
Sorry.
So, well, to wrap up this before we move on to another thing, I'm just going to say it's just that it's rest in peace to everybody who has been a victim of any sort of violent crime. You know, crime is everywhere. Crime is going to happen. Crime is just something that is going to crime is just unfortunately something that's just always going to happen. It's not something that's going to go away. You know, even though the United States is more prevalent on crime than anywhere else in the world. You know, you got 206 sovereign states around the world. 180 of them have freedom. But yet we're the only people. They try to place America as being the only place that has freedom. Yet 180 sovereign states around the world have it. Yeah. So it's like when people go on social media and stuff like that, people go on social media and they're just total fucking pricks about these situations. It's not. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not what that one person said. Is not the narrative of the people. No. What that one person describes the event as, regardless of how bigoted he is, does not discredit what the majority of Americans feel. Yeah. And what do we all feel? Well, we all feel that kids need to be protected. Yep. The good cops need to be protected. People, the American citizens, no matter the color of your skin, need to be protected. Yeah. Blue collar workers need to be protected, because blue collar workers makes the world. In other countries around the world, blue collar workers are worshipped.
Not here.
Yeah.
They are worshipped around the world. Warehouse workers, retail workers, they are worshipped.
People who cook
on a side note, you remember this was a couple months ago. They were showing that these nurses, they were walking out of these hospitals and they had military personnel saluting these fucking nurses that were working these 12, 14, 16-hour shifts. Yep. That they were showing respect.
In countries around the world, there were soldiers
to these nurses that were
soldiers standing out in front of hospitals saluting them.
We got nurses and doctors fucking doing dance rehearsals on TikTok and YouTube.
No, but I mean, that's an isolated incident, but overall, though,
we're saying it irks me. It irks me a little bit, because we're supposed to take this serious, and I see more and more of this stuff. I'm like, come on, am I supposed to believe this is horrifically terrible when I'm watching a hallway full of nurses and doctors with no patients, with like balloons for fake tits and asses twerking and stuff? I'm like, no, see, you lost me.
Yeah.
You lost me.
Oh, 100%.
And the more I see it, it might be isolated, but the fact is I see it more and more. Well, it's died down, but with everybody wanting TikTok to stay alive and well, it's probably going to get worse. I've literally just shrugged my shoulders. Like, wear a mask. I only wear a mask to go into stores to buy food. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're afraid? No. Why not? Well, everyone's going to die at some point. that's kind of a terrible thing. Well, you know what?
It's the truth.
My give a fuck has been broken because we're going on, it's 5 months now, and it's only getting worse, and I'm constantly thinking, man, our future is just fucked. Mm-hmm. We've been shut down this long. Kids lost, 3-4 months of school last year, and how much more school are they going to miss?
That's why these kids are out here doing dumb shit now.
Yeah. And how many of them were needed the breakfast and lunch because their families didn't make enough money, and now it's only worse, but you only go to school 1 day a week now?
My two final thoughts before I move on is to Junior and Al. Al would say that, I still have to believe that as a society and as a country that there's this massive racial divide that the media points it out to be, that it's not the case. That it's just people aren't like that. And until Junior said, I listened to our podcast, which I uploaded to Junior that we did at Carlton's house, and you were saying that, you know what, going forward, I'm staying the fuck out of politics, and I'm not getting political, and I am as well. So I don't. It's, to me, I've just the point I was trying to make with this whole fucking hour past rant was just it's sickening the fact that now even saying rest in peace to a kid. Now, some people have to politicize that. Yeah. And, so it's now I can even say, hey, guys, I like drinking Fireball whiskey. Well, are you anti-Trump? I said, Fireball. I like drinking Coke Zero. Why, are you pro-Biden? I just said I like drinking Coke Zero. I mean, it's just but they're making it. Now, we're saying rest in peace to kids. Now, you white conservative bastards? No. Because I said rest in peace to a kid?
No, because Coca-Cola has 8 letters and Joe Biden has 8 letters. I like that fucking child sniffer.
I'm 100% with Junior with that, where it's I don't even say I will make Trump jokes all day, but if you want to vote for the fucking guy, go ahead. I don't care. I don't care.
When I tell you that I'm so far out of the political game, it's not. But the politics that I stay away from is social media politics, because there's 2 different types of politics. There's the media politics, where they're only going to tell you what they want to tell you about Trump and Biden. You got to do your own research to get your own information.
Precisely.
Then there's social media politics.
Which is worse than anything on the face of this freaking planet.
Exactly. So that's...
on both sides.
That is what I'm staying out of. I'm not staying out of, the media politics, because the media politics, you can see the lies, clear as day, and it's just okay, let me actually go do my research to find out what's really going on. Well, and then I can project that knowledge.
Now, no matter who it is who gets elected, whatever.
Yeah.
The full freaking week after Trump got elected, back in 2016, I stayed off of Facebook for a good week.
I was off Facebook for 6 weeks.
Because of the fact that, you had, and typically because of the fact that we live in Albany. It is 100%, not our president. We didn't vote for him. We don't want him in office. He's this, he's that, Russian collusion, this is that is this, blah, blah, blah. And it's okay, I didn't vote. I haven't voted since 2008.
Yeah, you communist.
So
popular vote doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
So I don't give a shit who wins and who loses in that sense. So me being the fact that I didn't vote, I'm not going to argue with you of why your opinion to me does not matter, because of the fact that I know for a fact my opinion does not matter because I didn't vote.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't vote doesn't mean your opinion doesn't matter. Everybody's opinion matters.
I look at it this way: is I pay taxes. My damn paycheck every damn week is drained with taxes, so my opinion does fucking matter.
Yep.
It's
but when it comes to something like that, flat out, I'm not helping or negating anything in that sense. So to me, my opinion really does not matter.
But a neutral stance is, I think, more important because, episode 7, there's no bias. You're not Trump is going to save us or Biden or whoever is going to save us. You're I don't understand either party.
Because here's the thing, and do you remember Chris the truck driver?
Yes.
Yeah. Chris and I, we were talking about it one time because, we were talking about, the differences in, the candidates and whatever, and so on and so forth. This was after Trump got into office, and I said to him, I'm dude, I didn't vote. He's I never vote. And I'm really? And he's I haven't voted once.
Yeah.
He's here's why. He's there is never going to be a person I agree with 100%.
Yep.
He's like, personally, he's like, I know a lot of people in New York City that Donald Trump screwed over.
Yeah.
He's like, and where Hillary's concerned, he's like, I wasn't going to vote for Hillary because there are a lot of things that she was saying that I do not agree with. Yeah. He's like, okay, I can agree with Trump a good 90%. I can agree with Hillary a good 10%. Does not mean I'm voting for Trump because I don't agree with him 100%. Yeah. And he's like, and I don't agree with Hillary 100%. So he's like, so why am I going to vote?
Well, smart. I've always said that with Lewis Black and Jr. and actually Elliot and Sue. You all know fucking Lewis Black.
My favorite comedian.
I don't care. Come November, if Biden wins or Trump wins,
the country is still shit.
Well, whoever wins, Trump, best believe I'm going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But I still have to agree with Al with that. And Al makes that freaking good point. Is that Trump supporters have no problem shitting on Biden all day. The second you make a fucking Trump joke, they fucking flip out. I see it every day on social media. Like, look, if you can take Biden jokes and you can take, technically speaking, Kanye is still a presidential candidate.
Yeah.
If you can shit on Kanye and shit on fucking Biden, you better take getting shit on fucking Trump, because you same people.
It works both ways though too, because anyone who is a Biden supporter and they can laugh at a Trump joke, they can laugh at a freaking Biden joke.
Which they usually do.
But they don't.
But even like fucking Clinton, we put out right now video, though there's pictures that Clinton is taking massages from fucking one of Biden's, Epstein's fucking victims, and Clinton has been to
like he was enjoying.
Clinton has been to Epstein's island multiple fucking times. But like Al's made a freaking point. I agree with Al. He's like, you know what? If Clinton's been to Epstein's island, crucify the fucking man. But if Trump's been to fucking Epstein's island multiple times, you better crucify him just as much.
Exactly.
Yeah. But these people that are diehard Trump supporters, well, it was different when Trump did it. No, it wasn't fucking different.
Like, give me the proof of either of them touching or sexual acts with these girls.
That's the thing.
That's where I need the proof.
Yeah.
Traveling doesn't mean anything. The acts.
Yeah.
But that's also another thing, though, too. And I've seen it more on the Democratic side than I have the Republican side. The Democratic side is more quick. They are quicker to demonize Trump than they are to freaking, like, if the man could find a cure for cancer.
That piece of shit.
They will literally look at him and say he is a piece of shit. He is the biggest asshole on the face of the planet.
He didn't find it sooner.
There's a guy. His name's Herschel Walker. Any of you know who he is?
That name sounds really familiar.
Yeah. Well, Herschel Walker, I'm pretty sure he was like a football player or something.
Oh, the one Alyssa Milano's attacking currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been friends with Donald Trump for a good 40 years now. When Trump had his first divorce from his 3 oldest kids' mother, to get his kids away from everything that was going on, he asked Herschel to take all 3 kids for him and said, like, I don't want them in the spotlight. I don't want them around this. Like, everything that's going on, like, it's between me and their mom. It has nothing to do with them. Herschel took all 3 of his kids. He brought them to, like, Disney World. He, like, made sure they were okay. Herschel's gone on the record now, and he's made the statement. He's like, you sit here and you call him a bigot, you call him a racist, you call him this. He's like, I've been friends with Donald Trump for 40 years. He's like, if he's a racist, that's news to me. Because he's like, as a black man, as a huge black man, why would he have trusted me to take care of his 3 young children?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just like, I'm like,
that's why I said I'm
down the middle.
I'm out of it.
Yeah,
I'm completely out of it. I'm going to tell you right now, the popular vote does not matter. You want to know the votes that matter? The 650 people of the Electoral College that gets these people in the office. That's the only votes that matter. And the sooner people understand that, the sooner we can move on and stop and stop with this nonsense that people really think that a popular vote matters. The popular vote stopped mattering the moment the Electoral College became a thing.
Exactly.
The moment the Electoral College became a thing, your vote no longer mattered. I don't understand why people don't understand this.
I do.
Exactly.
There are states that are around here that literally had Hillary winning those states, and yet the Electoral College had Trump winning. So at the end of the day, popular vote does not matter at all. We are a popular vote. Democracy is about popular vote. And the popular vote doesn't matter.
That was another thing that I said last time that the election happened. Because I made the statement to someone, I'm like, if I vote Green Party, doesn't make a difference. Ever. Ever.
I'm always going to vote independent. I'm never going to vote Democratic or Republican because they're always at each other's throats. It's a direct tear on a piece of paper. That's all it is.
I had said flat out, I'm like, we live in New York. If I vote Green Party, doesn't make a difference. If I vote Republican, it's not going to make a difference.
Nope.
And if I vote Democrat, what difference did it really make in the end? Because Hillary didn't win.
Yeah.
So what does my one vote actually count?
Nobody's vote does anything because the only votes that matter is the people that's higher up. Yeah. The only votes that matter is the Electoral College votes. That's it. It is not popular votes. Nope. It's not. It's already been proven. Look at the polls. It's been proven. Look at how Florida, I think Donald Trump won Florida, right? He did. Donald Trump won Florida, but Hillary won the popular vote by 20%. So how did Trump win Florida if Hillary won the state by popular vote by 20%? That doesn't make any sense now, does it? So again, I thought in a democracy, it was about the people. So if the democracy is about the people, why is it the only 650 people matter and not the 340 million people that vote?
Hillary did not win by popular vote. Trump won it by popular vote. That's how the Electoral College actually works in the first place.
Well,
now I'm going to be honest when I say this. I hate politics, but I do know a bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, the Electoral College, though, but when certain states that presidents have won from the popular vote,
though, also they keep to a certain side.
Yeah,
there are certain ones
so it's
where
still rigged.
They're the swing ones,
so it's still rigged.
But that's the thing, because that's why New York always ends up being a blue state.
Yeah,
I've always just said
so even if the majority of the people voted for Trump, the Electoral College still has Hillary winning New York.
No, I've always said
so it doesn't matter. Your vote does not matter.
Exactly. Politics to me explains to a 10-year-old. There's 10 million people. We'll pick 10 million. 10 is a very basic number. Any 6-year-old can tell you 10, but we'll say 10 million. 10 million people fucking voted, okay? 6 million voted for Trump. 4 million voted for Hillary. Well, to my knowledge, 6 is a bigger number than 4.
Yep.
Shouldn't 6 matter? Well, with the Electoral College and politics and blue state, blah, blah, technically speaking, they won. And so, said, it's like Hillary, for argument's sake, had 6 million fucking votes. Trump had 4 million. By logic, she should win. Well, Trump, the blah, blah, Trump wins.
Yep.
And this is why...
Because it goes by whatever Electoral College... Also,
it goes by the 650.
The states are.
That's what I'm saying, which doesn't make sense because no matter how big the state is, the overall as a country, those numbers doesn't change. Like in other words, say New York had 10 million people, right? Mm-hmm. And Boston had 5 million people. It's still 15 million people. Simple as that. So it's so you have 15 million people. 10 million vote for Hillary, 5 million vote for Trump. Last time I checked, 10 is bigger than 5.
Yeah. The Electoral College is unconstitutional.
But the Electoral College is technically speaking, if we take blah, blah, X, Y, and Z and stick my thumb up your ass, Trump wins. Okay.
I'm not going to
I get what he's saying. It's just funny.
Like I'm saying, just take to very basic grade school fucking math. We have 350 million roughly people in this fucking country. Well, let's just say, argument's sake, 100 million fucking people fucking vote. I don't care if it's 100 million people across. Okay, we have 50 states across America and 2 outside America. Say, for instance, 50 million people, okay? Have 2 million people per state. That's 100 million. But the Electoral College says that, some states have 10 million, some states have 2 million, some states have 5 million. Regardless of the fact, it's that there's 100 million people fucking voting. I don't give a shit what the state population is. It's still 100 million fucking votes. So it'll come down to 100 million fucking votes. If 60 million vote for Hillary and 40 million vote for Trump, last time I checked, 60 is bigger than fucking 40. It's not. You can't get any more simplistic than that.
But the Electoral College is unconstitutional.
The Electoral College says, well, you know what? Your math is wrong. Well, how does 6 plus 4 equals 10? How is that wrong? Well, that's why I'm done.
Yeah,
didn't count.
Because not a single Republican president has ever won New York. Not a single one in the last 5 elections has ever won New York. Even when Republicans actually when somebody voted for the Republican Party, actually outvoted the Democratic Party. The Electoral College still made it so that a Democratic candidate won New York. That's when I figured it out. That's when I figured it out that your vote doesn't matter. And it was just like, if nobody voted in the United States, nobody, if not a single person voted in the United States, there would still be a president elected.
Well,
you know why? Because of the
I'll let
650.
Susan make your point, but before I'm out, that's why I said, as a blue collar fucking person, guys, I've been alive through 7, 8 presidents, and like I've said before, since even episode 1, when I couldn't elaborate as much as hey guys, since episode 1, in my lifetime, I'm 39 years old since I was a kid. Guess what? The blue collar person, the average working person,
is still getting
no matter
fucked
what
over in
president has
America.
been here, Republican, Democrat, whoever, guess what? The average working class person, blue collar person, is totally and utterly fucked.
Yep.
Simple
You've only
as that.
been alive through 6.
You've been alive for as long as Nancy Pelosi has been in the White House.
Like,
Burn.
yeah.
No, seriously.
Ronald Reagan, like, was the president when you were born.
Reagan.
After him
And-
was Bush.
and-
After Bush
yeah.
was Clinton. After Clinton was Bush.
And we've seen how
Twice the
no
butt.
matter
Blue
who-
collar is
no-
just getting shitted
no matter
on.
who runs this country, look how destroyed the blue collar person is. And now with the Junior said, Elliot, with the automated systems and more, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse.
Shit, man.
So
You
it's
go,
like-
but you literally go to like the UK. You go to like Spain. You go to anywhere, any other sovereign state around the world, and blue collar workers are worshipped. We are taken care of.
No.
We pay our bills. We can do extra things. We can live our life. We can travel to all these other places. Do you know how much more traveling that they do on the Eastern Hemisphere than we do over here? It's sickening.
We've seen what's said. I look at TikTok when Allison's been TikTok for comedy views, but the fact is that any one of us can make a TikTok video that's less 45 seconds.
Yeah.
45 seconds. And the majority of these popular TikTok people are girls that are lip syncing artists. So you can't even create your own content. You're lip syncing better people than you, who wrote these songs, who performed these songs, who toured on these fucking songs. You are lip syncing better people than yourself, and your quote unquote content is 45 seconds of you lip syncing.
See, that's why I like Smule better.
TikTok videos, the maximum TikTok video is 59 seconds. So you're making 45-second videos, 50-second videos of you lip syncing somebody better than you, and your net worth is more than a nurse right now, or a quote unquote essential worker.
Yep.
And you wonder why our country is fucked for.
Yep.
Because any 16-year-old or anybody can make it. My son's 13. Right now, because of TikTok, his net worth can be more than anybody who went to college and got an 8-year degree.
Speaking of your son, for a little bit of humor, to like finish this off, for those of you who don't know, I stepped away for a second to grab myself a drink, gave one to Elliot, and grabbed like a cigarette. As I went upstairs right before I came back down, you know what your son said to me?
I'm scared to find out. This is funny.
He says to me, he's like, so that other night when you weren't here, who were you with?
That's a good question.
LH.
And I'm like, what? And he's like, who were you with? And I'm like, none of your business.
I'm going to tell him.
I mean, we
Actually,
already know.
I'll have Uncle Junior tell him.
Don't have me tell. Why are you putting me in a position like that? This
He likes
isn't my
you.
position.
Junior, if anybody in my life, Junior makes Christian laugh the most.
Oh, that's because of my misery. Because it's my misery.
I don't want to scar the kid, so definitely not me.
It's true. Junior's in so
We
much.
are literally letting him know that you like abduct women. So
Junior's in so
Hey, you
Like-
go right for it.
Junior's in so much mental agony, it makes Christian die laughing.
Yeah, it really does.
That's how you know he's my kid.
Well, here I am,
Dad, I love
fucking
you.
miserable.
I love Junior. He makes me laugh. Like, yes, he does.
Yeah, yes, I do.
The little shit freaking looks at me and he's like, so who were you with the other night?
Well,
Today, when I walked through the freaking door with your mom from grocery shopping, he looks at me, he's like, so where were you the other night? And I'm like, why are you asking? He's like, I don't know. Why weren't you here?
oh yeah.
Where'd you go? Who were you with? I'm like, when did you become my father?
Another helping of beef.
Getting that schlong. Getting that Rex Goliath.
I just hope he made it for last time.
Wait until she
You
hears.
should. You might as well just introduce him to us. Like
Yeah.
No.
I don't understand. Like it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Get something out of my trunk.
Like if.
Go blue.
Hey, did anyone see where Longhorn went? No, but someone stole my car.
That's fucked up.
Car found at the bottom of a ravine. Body in the trunk. Huh? I guess she was right.
Junior needs a new tattoo.
That's what I'm saying. I want to get a tattoo. I'm just trying to.
What do you mean by new tattoo? Junior has no tattoos.
Listen, I'm trying to get the Susan. I'm trying to get the Susan discount. What's going on?
How well does your mouth work?
Jesus Christ. Well, obviously not as good as yours.
Like Carl made a good point. Look at Junior's hairline. It grew back like 3 inches. He was up there in New Hampshire.
That is true.
And it vanished.
It's that fucking Albany weather.
Yeah, the pollution made it much worse.
Yeah.
I didn't lose any.
It does look better though.
I didn't lose
He
any.
has to touch it. He's like, I didn't lose it. Huh?
It actually grew back.
On the side note, how is Molly doing?
She's doing wonderful.
We need to bring her back down here because Susan and Ellie doesn't. They
It
haven't.
rubs the
they haven't-
Rogaine on its scalp, or else it gets the hose again.
Listen, let me tell you something. I am not trying to
Put
get
the
any more bald
Rogaine
spots
in
in
the
my head.
fucking scalp.
Yeah, she is a wonderful human being,
She is.
Rogaine on the scalp.
and so Ellie and Susan have no proof that she actually
Yeah.
exists.
Gotta check a pulse.
Those pictures are photoshopped.
Yeah. Like I said, blink, woman in the picture, whoever you are, blink twice if you're in trouble.
It wasn't a video. It was just a picture. Jesus Christ. It wasn't even a video.
He said woman in the picture.
It's like Junior's at a restaurant alone. He took a picture of a girl.
Yeah.
And they put her in the booth.
He leaned over. He's like, "Can you please smile? My friends need to know I'm not here alone."
That place actually got better with their food.
That's like whenever Jen comes down
Where'd you
here.
go?
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Jesus Christ.
So two
Damn.
people were getting some longhorn
Oh,
meat,
yeah.
huh?
Pretty much.
That's like fucking.
I didn't go there because I wanted to make fun of you. I went there because it actually has good food.
I
Like,
said-
and they actually got better. They got a new ribeye sandwich.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, it's fucking amazing. Like, oh, it's fucking incredible. Like, I ate that. I was like, oh
Were you in
shit.
tears?
Yes, almost. Like, almost. I was actually more happy to have that sandwich than her to sit in on the opposite booth.
You're such a fat ass.
Oh, you know it. Oh my god, that sandwich is better than sex.
That's-
you
Jesus
talk
Christ.
shit about your dad? Damn.
That's what I've grown my hair out for. If Mama thinks she feels sorry for me last time, which she's my haircut now.
We're gonna make a drinking game. Oh, I feel sorry for you. Shut up.
We're gonna fall out of this fucking chair.
I feel so sorry for her.
I'm gonna be like,
We should make it. We
Mo-
really should make that a freaking drinking
Between
game.
Molly
Anytime
and-
someone
and
like,
Jen- and
says
Jen's-
like they feel sorry for
Between
Chris.
Molly and Jen's friend Kaylee, holy shit, that's just like that's.
Alcohol poisoning.
I feel sorry for you. Like I know.
Like, don't feel sorry.
You're
for
my
her.
nugget. Like yeah, I know.
No, they feel too sorry to give you anything.
Oh God. Yeah, I'll take it.
Hey, listen.
All right.
Good times.
I'll
Good
do this
times.
news story before we head out because it's been up 3 hours. But did you guys hear about? There's an asteroid. It's heading for Earth.
Yep.
It's heading for Earth on Election Day.
Yep.
Awesome.
The day before election day.
Cool. So it doesn't elect you.
Now it really doesn't matter who wins. We're all fucked.
Let Trump just stay
The
president.
asteroid
fuck
the
it.
day before the
It says it's a
election.
rocky year. An asteroid hurtling towards Earth is projected to reach the planet on November 2nd. The cow-sized space chunk has a 50% chance of making impact with the atmosphere, where it could disintegrate, according to NASA.
Nice.
Have you heard about the 2 hurricanes that are merging?
Yes. I got excited, honestly.
Like, this has not happened ever before in recorded history. That 2 hurricanes at the same time are coming, as well as they are now merging.
What are their names?
I don't know their names.
Candy and Sugar. We now have a super hurricane called
that's
Candy Sugar. Like, is it a stripper hurricane?
If it is, what's your OnlyFans?
It's gonna be a lot of sucking and blowing, and most of our shit's gonna be gone. Don't let your husband stop you from fun.
Fucking Jada Pinkett.
I should a picture where it says
Those memes are relentless too. Those Jada Pinkett memes are fucking
it says,
relentless.
"Don't let your husband stop you from finding the love of your life."
That's so fucked.
No, I saw a Kefka meme. I swear to God, it's so offensive. I probably shouldn't say it, and I'm most likely not.
So we're gonna talk about this when Al comes back. But actually, I did want to did want to do a deep discussion about that, like how Junior. Everybody can talk about like how these, like with Jada Pinkett and Will, have these open relationships, how they never work. Like I just want to talk about everybody. How it's just like our opinions about how these so many marriages have these quote unquote open relationships, and they always fucking just end terribly
Because
like,
it's only one sided.
Yeah,
because one person decided that it's open, and the other person said,
well,
"When did I
it's
decide
like
it
fuck
was
buddies.
open?"
Fuck buddies, in theory, could work. It's like you have more chance of hitting the Powerball of finding a fuck buddy where somebody's not going to catch feelings.
Emotion.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
I think it is.
That's not true
I
at all.
think someone always catches feelings.
I disagree 100%.
I agree. People do. That's why threesomes, one of the people always get pissed off because they don't feel like they got.
Well, they
as
don't get
much
enough strokes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not saying fuck buddies can't work. Just like
I'm mad that you that you nodded your head in approval. I'm really mad that you did that.
There's certain
certain
people have open marriages where they do work. I'm saying, but it's so fucking rare. I'm just
because you got to know how to control or have no emotion about the
but
whole thing.
Just because the whole like us constantly making fun of Jada and Will, which is like because how often does that actually work out? And even what's the point of getting married then? It's
Throwing
like if you're gonna get married and your wife's plowing 10 other guys a week, then why are you even married for?
Here's the thing, like I said, Jada decided that it was gonna be an open marriage.
Will just didn't get the memo.
Yeah, Will Smith was just like, okay, well, I mean, he's so focused on his career, he doesn't fucking know what's going on with Jada. Like once Jada and him actually sat down at the table, it was just like everything that she was saying to him, he was just dumbfounded. I know one of the things that she was saying, like when she got into an entanglement, he's like,
yeah,
the fuck you mean entanglement? Like that doesn't even make any sense.
Anyway, well, Susan, you have to contact your asshole cousin Jen because I want to get Jen down here because she's been.
Oh, your mom was just on the phone with her.
Yeah, well, funny how she hasn't returned my text, but no, because Jen had an incident recently. I talked to Al a little bit about that, but Al said we should talk about this off the podcast. But I still want Jen to talk about this on the podcast, where it's like Jen had an incident where, and Jamie did, where this guy was pulling out a fucking axe. He pulled that axe at my sister. And I want to talk about the whole like.
When did that happen?
Yeah, it's I don't want to talk about this because this is Jen's story to tell.
Oh yeah,
and Jamie's story to tell. And like I said, I don't want to like. I've only gotten details from Jen, but I want Jen's actually the one who filed the police reports and stuff. So I want Jen to, and like I said, the reason I didn't want to get involved for, and I won't get involved because again, all I have to do is contact you, Junior, Elliot, or freaking Al. We show up to this fucking guy's place, but you know what's gonna happen if we show up? We're the assholes.
Yep.
That's why we haven't. That's
we
why
got arrested before. Remember?
That's why I haven't. That's why I haven't got you, or Al, and Elliot fucking involved for it. So Jen has filed the proper police paperwork and the proper thing, but it still comes down to if this guy attacks my sister, one of my sisters, then I'm gonna get fucking involved. Right now, the cops said, and it's true, there's no legal precedent for being an asshole and threatening people. And he's called Jen a fat fucking cunt. He's called Jimmy a fucking piece of shit. He's called them cracker, scumbag, blah blah. Because of course we know it. He's Hispanic, and there's no white racial word to equivalent every other racial word. So it's like, so he can still threaten my sisters and cuss at my sisters and threaten my nephew, but like, we can't do nothing about that because if we do anything about that, we're racist. So,
well, to be honest, there's only one race. That's the human race, and I don't like it whatsoever.
But I said, this is Jen's story to tell. So, Sue, if you want to get hold of your cousin Jen to come down Saturday, it'd be great because I do actually want to record Jen's because this stuff does get serious and it should be recorded. And it shows how the inequality of like how people can harass people and get away with it because of the color of their fucking skin.
Well, people can't harass me for when I once danced to Goodbye Horses in the mirror after watching Silence of the Lambs.
So
fucking good movie.
Yeah, we got 3 hours in, so we'll say our goodbyes. And like Elliot said, when I went
before we end off, like there was actually one thing. So this was a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if you heard about it or if Junior heard about it. So there was this big thing a couple of years ago where people were trying to find a copy of a movie where the actor Sinbad
Oh God. Oh my God.
was in this movie where he played a
Jeez,
genie.
we're still talking about
Well, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it's something else that I saw. So many different people like remembered this. I myself remember this
Kazam?
movie. Yeah,
Yes.
being made.
Yeah, I saw it.
Sinbad himself got on Twitter and said, "As happy as I am that people remember who I am,
Yeah.
I was not the one in the movie."
They
And
call
it
that,
wasn't called Kazam.
Yeah, that's the Mandela effect. They call it.
Well, there was another thing about the Mandela effect that I just watched. It's a YouTube channel. They appear on Facebook every now and again called FBE.
Okay.
And what they do a lot of reaction videos a lot of the time. And one of the things that they did recently was one about the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Because they're like, how many people watch a movie? There are iconic lines in movies that people like constantly say, like, the whole Luke, I am your father. But the funny thing is, so many people say Luke, I am your father, but it's wrong. But that's how everyone remembers
Yeah,
it.
wasn't it no, I am your father?
Yeah. But he brought up like a ton of different examples, and like one of them was like, E.T. The most famous line in frickin' E.T. What was it?
Elliot.
Go home.
AT phone home?
Yeah.
Phone home.
So now everyone like automatically is always like E.T. phone home.
Yeah.
The first time E.T. said it in the movie was actually E.T. home phone. So people constantly misremember that. When in Jaws, the epic scene with the boat where they're on the boat, they're throwing the chum into the water, Jaws comes up. What's the line?
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
I think we're gonna need a bigger boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
It was what's his face's boat. The other one looks at me and goes, "You're gonna need a bigger boat."
Roy Shatner was telling him he said we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Nope. He says you're gonna need a bigger
Damn,
boat.
now I gotta look all this stuff up.
It's true. No.
Field of Dreams. Big scene in the corn maze. He's walking. What does he say?
If you build it, I will come.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
I know, I
Is
just
what
wanted
they
to
always say.
Yeah.
What he actually says is, if you build it, he will come.
Really?
Yeah.
I was close.
And like
look
there
that
are
up.
so many other like movies where that happens, where people are constantly misremembering how it's said.
Well, that's why people said too with history and stuff. When people say, "Oh, the UFOs happen," or different accounts happening, it's amazing what people remember. But there's what people remember, and what the video evidence actually shows.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary about that. So because you can have incident where before, if nothing was recorded on video, and they get eyewitnesses statements, all these same people will remember incident being the same way.
The
And
exact same.
and
one.
it's totally false.
But that was the thing. That was
scary.
Specifically the thing with the Sinbad movie, because every person I had spoken to, and I made the statement, I'm like, do you remember a movie from the 90s where Sinbad played a genie? And they're like, every single person said the exact same name.
I could have swore I remember that too.
Said the exact same name of the movie. And I'm like, did you know that it does not exist? That there was one that starred Shaq? And they're like, oh yeah, we know the one with Shaq. It was called Shazam. And I'm like, and they're like, and the one with Sinbad was called Kazam. And I'm like, yeah, but the one with Sinbad doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Sinbad himself has said it does not exist. I never made that movie.
I remember it.
Well, there's people on YouTube who said, like, some people said, like, I remember I did watch this movie. I did see him.
Yeah.
And it was like, it didn't exist. So I'm flabbergasted.
Lie?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm telling you now. You of course know, like, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. You all know this at this point. So one
A
of
little
the
too uncomfortably now, but yes.
so one of the biggest
Elliot's
things.
just like Hodor. Come on.
Hold door.
See, he looks. He gets the same.
Hold door. I've never seen it, so I don't know how he
He
talks.
looks like Hodor. Come on, and he sounds like him.
I feel bad for Hodor. Still,
He's got the same brain mentality.
very much so. So
He's a giant retard.
So So there's this thing, not Game of Thrones itself, but A Song of Ice and Fire, the book series in which the TV show is made off of. Shut up about the Wiener song.
Wiener.
So in the books, what George R. R. Martin does a lot of times is he creates unreliable narrators.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what our lives have become, is we're full of unreliable narrators who don't understand that these things did not happen. Because it happens in the book a lot of times as well. Like, there's a scene where Sansa, like, swears the Hound kissed her when he didn't.
Yeah.
Tyrion
Bullshit.
in the scene where Joffrey's given, like, the sword by Tywin.
Listen, I didn't imagine I know I fucked a lesbian, okay?
I'm not denying the fact that you fucked the lesbian, but at the same point in time...
It may have lasted 30 seconds, but it happened, okay?
At the same point in time, I wasn't
nowadays.
there, so I can't say for sure.
Oh, gosh, you heard the weird grunting.
I mean, come on, yeah. It was only like 4 or 5 pumps, but come on, it counted.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
This is uncomfortable.
I may have apologized a couple times.
I'm sorry,
that's never happened.
sorry,
What,
I'm sorry,
the 30
I'm
minute,
sorry,
the 30
I'm sorry.
second sex or the crying afterwards?
I'll last longer
Oh,
next
both.
time, I promise.
The crying afterwards
I may have
lasted
said
longer
that.
than the sex.
I was like, next time I'll do better, I swear to God.
Please hold me.
And then instead of 5 pumps, he went lasted until 8. Like, I lasted longer, see?
Yeah. To my fucking leg cramped up.
See, the
That's-
pain's supposed to distract
That's
you,
gonna
so
be
you
a story in
keep
itself.
going.
Like, last time I had sex, it was comedy because how much pain I was in.
Leg cramp, leg cramp, leg cramp.
It can
Yeah,
be
exactly.
comedy. Trust me.
He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Probably."
Probably.
Oh Christ! All right, yeah, we're good. So we did 3 hours, 20 minutes. So cool. So, and like, Elliot was saying that when I listen to this back tomorrow when I'm actually sober, I probably did say fuck a bunch of times with the whole
Yeah.
kids thing. But so that's my passionate thing. That's my breaking point. I said, call me the weirdo, but like murdering children, hashtag, save our kids. It's like I'm just getting
Save
tired.
our children.
I'm tired of fucking
Hashtag brick to the
kids
face.
being killed, and it's not becoming a compassion. It's becoming a fucking dick measuring contest. And
Hashtag fuck
I'll,
those motherfuckers.
but no, I'll go first by saying, yeah, guys, like as usual. Hopefully we'll talk to Jim this week. I definitely want to, with Junior and Elliot and even Sue, do movie reviews. We want to get YouTube stuff going. And so we're doing this shit because we're just a bunch of drunken assholes having fun and good time. And even Big Al, if he was here, I love this video where it say, guys, fuck OnlyFans and screw these people on these streaming platforms where it's like, if I'm going to spend $12 a month, I got Disney. Susan's got Disney Plus. We got Netflix. We got Hulu. I'm not paying you money. So you can
WWE app,
so you can
HBO
sit around
app.
playing Warcraft all day or fucking playing Fortnite, guys.
Porn is free.
Kiss my ass. Yeah, Pornhub Premium is free. I recommend you get it because I have it myself. I'm a very big fan.
They
So,
took my show off there.
and I would say that the 4 of us here and Big Al, and when Carlton gets on here with the Zoom account, that nobody here wants your money or needs your money, and we don't need your funds and your donations. And Sue's not to piggyback this, that when you go to Carlton's house, when you visit there, everything that Carlton and Karen have was earned, and it was through hard work and dedication, and it was earning their keep. It wasn't through begging for fucking handouts. And I respect that, and all of us do respect Carlton and Karen's work ethic, because yes, Carlton right now technically doesn't work a blue collar job, but Carlton also did a shit ton of time in the military. He earned his fucking keep. Carlton has medals and accommodations.
He was blue collar before he became what
He's
he
even
was.
more than blue collar, because how many people can say they did military and shit?
Exactly.
Carlton, he may even be white collar right now, but the point I say is Carlton does something that's productive. He accomplishes goals. He accomplishes tasks. Like Big Al would say, that these people on these streaming sites, whether it's OnlyFans or TikTok or fucking Twitch or YouTube, what do you accomplish? Literally fucking nothing. He said, my 13-year-old can do what you do. So
That's the whole point of being blue
Kiss my
collar in the
ass.
first place, is you're working towards a goal. You're
Yeah.
working
But
towards
even
the
Carlton,
point.
even say as much as all of us here will crack on Mark and bust his balls, and we will, Mark still does work for the state, and he does work for taxation. Everybody here, everybody listening, people who actually work jobs, you need state taxes. Taxes are mandatory. Taxes are fucking necessity. We busting his fucking balls, but even him sitting at home though, he does provide a service that's needed. Nobody on these streaming services provides anything that's essential. So if all OnlyFans or Twitch shut down tomorrow, our fucking economy, our planet, our society would be just fine. So,
But is Mark really essential towards life?
His body is broken right now
I mean, how exactly does one's body break?
from working from home.
From sleeping a good 16 hours a day.
I'll let you guys say your goodbyes. I'm good.
All right. Well, guys, hashtag Save Our Children has 3.3 million reposts. That is amazing. That is something that is great. It's not just Save Our Children from pedophilia, though. It's save our children from violence. Save our children from these negative influences. Save our children from all this bullshit that's going on.
Save our children from the fucking world.
Yeah, save our children from this fucking culture. Like, it's just crazy out here these days. You gotta save our children from a lot more than pedophilia, but just the fact that people say, you know, save our children is just 3.3 million strong. It says a lot. Yeah. With that being said, as always, just continue to work hard. Blue collar, one day, one day, someday. Maybe not in this country, but in other places around the world, we're definitely appreciated. You know, because blue collar we're the gears that keep America going.
Yes.
And that's the most important fact more than anything. So kudos to everybody who works hard. Kudos to everybody who's earned their keep, who pays their dues, and you know, hopefully one day people see us for who we really are.
Yeah. Guys.
Hashtag SNES Classic Lives Matter. Fuck it. I'm going to offend somebody. And I'm going to say the Kefka joke. People are going to hate me. So it says, Kefka's like, I broke up with my Japanese girlfriend. I dropped the bomb on her 2 or 3 times before she got the point.
Oh my fucking God.
Remember, this is Kefka, Final Fantasy 3/6. He killed children. He's the only villain that won, in my opinion. Kefka 2020.
You are the final voice in tonight.
I have no words. Other than, like, I do agree with you guys. Like, you know, we need to save our children from this fucked up
And we're all happy that you are well rested and well satisfied.
Well,
and I hate every last one of you guys.
I didn't
Except for
say
Junior.
anything.
Junior and I are on a truce.
I don't know. You gave me
I didn't even say anything.
Bellini, so
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
right this evening. I haven't heard the last 2 podcasts.
I didn't say
The
anything.
last one was me.
You do know
Alan,
he's going to find
Chris.
out who he is. So.
Yes.
Eventually.
I don't know who you
He
are.
will probably be the only
Don't know
one
what
of
you
you guys
want.
who does find out.
That's
I will
true.
find
And he's
you.
going to talk about it.
No, he won't.
I think Susan's probably gonna be like, "You figured it out. We need to talk." I'm like, "Oh fuck! I've never heard Susan talk like this before." We need to talk. You figured out his identity, and it will not leave your mind.
Where the fuck was that tattoo in your forearm come from?
What? Why do you keep rubbing your jaw? What happened? My body broke.
That's another thing. If another human being makes a statement that their body breaks, like, do not take that person seriously in life ever again.
No, it's just the fact that Mark said it though. It's like, Mark, how does your body break?
I haven't showered in 4 days.
I could make a corpse puke. Like, ew, you fucking disgusting slob.
He's like,
Can't call upstairs to his mom for a freaking, like, 2 slices of bread.
He's like, Junior, I'm falling apart.
Won't call his little brother to pick him up from work. Will call his mom to ask his little brother.
How are you falling apart as a human?
I got it. I know how to fix him. We need to get Fat Geralt to knock his ass.
Junior's like, vile.
Disgusting.
It's like, how the fuck?
Oh, Christ.
Jesus.
Some people, dude.
Yeah, so thanks for listening. And yeah, Junior, we gotta take care of this Facebook page. So,
Well, at some point.
all right, thanks, guys. And we're out. Bye.